Let's start the recording. Okay. What you want? We all know you want to fuck lies. It doesn't mean you have to literally res him. Anyways, pull up the maps. Okay. Falling is the first thing and the last thing you remember. Falling out of the sky from top all the way down. As you fall from the sky, your slightly conscious mind recalls the previous events. You were a human in a world called Earth. You died. And instead of whatever happening in the afterlife, nothing at all, or something happening, instead you got called upon by this mysterious god. He introduces himself as one of the gods of this new world called Althvinhaim, and he's brought you here because, quite frankly, he's bored. You remember that he lets you choose your magical affinities, your skills, your appearance, your race. He said you're going to be brought into a world of fantasy. It feels like those weird mangas and animes you'd watch. After picking your things, he then sends you off. The next thing you know, you slam into the ground. You don't feel any pain, probably courtesy of the god. And you sit up. Looking at yourself, you notice that you have become a fairy. Roughly 3 feet and a half in meter tall in stature, and you feel the light wings on your back, and the trees that stand in front of you much taller than you normally expect them to be. You look around, and you're in the middle of a forest. It kind of has like this magical aura to it. Everything seems to be glimmering in an odd way. Even the plants and the insects that crawl along the ground have this enchanted feeling to it. However, you're not going to get anywhere sitting around here doing nothing. You know not of your situation, but standing around isn't going to do much for you.
First question out of canon.
You can speak at any time.
Oh, okay. Are you going to like screen share the map or?
You don't know the map. The only thing you're allowed to have open is your memories and your profile. Yeah, no, you'll get a map eventually, but right now you don't have a map.
Alright, first thing I do, very characteristic of who I am as a person. You ready for this? It's so great. I slap myself in the face to make sure this is real.
First thing you do is slap yourself in the face, and it stings, and nothing. Yeah, it's real.
Okay, second thing I do, alright, as very characteristic of me, I look around, stand up, confirm it's real, and scream, "Fuck yeah! I'm a fucking fairy bitch! Sweet!
Almost as enthusiastically as a certain incubus in the Highlands, you look at yourself, look at your appearance, and scream into the middle of the forest, "Fuck yeah!" And that are really excited for some odd reason that although you died, you are now little fairy bitch.
As characteristically as my sibling, who for no reason in particular are very similar. I wonder why. Alright, so after screaming, fuck yeah, I'm like, alright, cool, I get to like as cringe as it sounds, I think to myself, I get to live the isekai life of my dreams. Yeah, boy.
You think that to yourself.
Alright, and so I guess the next step after being very overjoyed with the fact that I'm a fucking fairy now, I attempt to fly.
First thing you do take note of is your appearance. And as you attempt to fly, you feel a certain fallen angel in a desert who doesn't do the same thing. Crazy enough, how it's almost interesting how every single character who has wings immediately try to learn how to fly, recognizing that they obviously wouldn't know how to fly, right? But it's interesting how a certain fallen angel in a desert thought that he would just be able to fly naturally and just know how to do it, which ended up getting him almost eaten by...
Did he jump off of POV? I write this down. Man, it almost feels like in the distance There's a fallen angel
No,
who's so
he was getting
fucking
attacked by a lacquer, which is like a large snake death worm. And he was like, oh, I can just fly with 0 practice.
And the one little fish girl tried to learn how to breathe underwater.
Yeah, everyone tried to immediately
Y'all are
learn.
so stupid!
Jamal
Anyway.
was like, I can... Yeah, anyways, yeah. So, you extend your wings, you have 2 pairs of little fairy wings, and you attempt to fly. You try for maybe like 10-15 minutes and kind of feel the motion of the wind. You manage to get off the ground, face planting into it a few times, admittedly. After maybe an hour of practicing and getting at it, you manage to hover. You think that you might not be very good at flying at fast speed through the forest, but at the very least you're now able to like just kind of hover and move in a direction.
Alright, my first thought upon doing this is, man, I should have picked something with actual wings. Because, I've told you, Connor, right? I have flight dysphoria, right? So, like, the thing is, my flight dysphoria takes the form in actual wings. So, I know how to flap those. This? I don't know how to flap these. These are fucking weird. I'm sitting here like, man, I could have gotten this a lot faster if I'd picked something with actual wings, but okay, I can hover now. Great, that's an improvement. So I'm walking then, as my best guess.
You're hovering. You can fly, like, in a direction.
Oh, okay.
Like, if you were getting chased by, like, an animal, you wouldn't be able to, like, fly quickly and navigate through the forest. But you can, like, hover at like, slightly faster than you can walk.
Alright, okay, so after an hour and a mouthful of dirt, I can now hover.
Yes.
Alright, I can now hover. Alright, so for the sake of maybe not tiring myself out, I land on the ground and choose to walk instead.
Uh-huh.
And I do the tried and true method of closing my eyes, spinning around rapidly in circles, and picking a random direction.
Instead of using the sun to find a direction to go in, I suppose you just spin in a circle. And you face a direction. You spin
Which
and
direction
spin.
am I facing?
I don't know.
Hang on. I'm gonna roll a d4 on the fucking random. Alright. Roll a d4. Which direction am I facing? Alright, I am facing east.
Okay, you're facing east.
I now start walking east.
You start walking east.
Does anything happen while I'm walking east?
As you walk east, you continue to just kinda move.
Wait, no, shit, I should have rolled a d8. Hang on.
That's actually a good point. I was gonna say, get all the
Alright, hang on.
directions.
I'm gonna go clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I start walking southeast.
Southeast.
Specifically.
Okay.
Specifically southeast.
Yeah. You start walking southeast, and it's all really just forest. You walk through the forest, and you can like stop to look at the plants or like anything, or you can just walk with no real purpose.
I pick a flower.
Okay. Let's see, what kind of flowers are here?
It's pink.
It's a pink. Well, you can't decide that. I tell you what it is.
Oh, fine. What if I purposely looked for a pink flower to pick?
You could purposely, I suppose you could purposely look for a
I
pink
purposely
flower.
looked for a pink flower to pick.
You look for a pink flower, and as you go through the yeah, hold on.
No, that makes sense. The list is long. You gotta go through the list.
Yeah, no. Yes, there are a lot. Yeah, okay. You go through and you find a patch of flowers. They're mainly bronze and marigold shaped. There are a few that are that appear to be white and orchid shaped, but no pink ones.
Darn. Well, they're still interesting. So, how large is this field of flowers?
10 meters.
Connor, I'm American.
25 feet by 25 feet.
Thank you. Just like Connor, I'm American.
So am I, but I know how to use the metric system.
Nah, I haven't memorized how to use it yet. I still put all my things in metric as
Which
well,
is
but I have to
funny.
calculate it. Anyway, so okay. Is there anything notable about this field of flowers that I would theoretically notice?
Besides just a bunch of flowers that are different colors, you note that every colored flower has a different shape. However, flowers of the same color always seem to have the exact same shape, and it's odd. And so you think that they might be different kinds of flowers, and something about them seems to glimmer, making you think that they're probably not completely normal flowers. However, considering the rest of this forest is also fucking glittering, it doesn't really seem to be
Yeah.
out of the ordinary.
Okay. All right.
In reference to the place you're currently in.
All right. Is this flower patch theoretically also southeast?
Like from where you came from?
Yes. Am I still walk? If I continue walking southeast, am I going through this flower patch?
More or less.
All right. I am going through this flower patch. I guess.
You walk through the flower patch, looking at the flowers, and yeah, you just walk through them. Nothing particular happens.
All right. Cool. So I walk through the flower patch. I make note that there is a flower patch here. I don't know how long I'll remember it, but
You
I
can
do
just write it
make
down, yeah.
note for now that flower patch exists, and it's cool because flowers.
Uh-huh.
That is exactly how it's going in there. Okay, and so I keep walking southeast. I guess I kind of would just realistically, I just kind of take note on what color the trees are, how big the trees are,
Okay.
where the tree density goes in and out, moss, bugs,
You note that,
little
yeah,
things.
as you walk through the forest, there's a plentiful different trees, and the tree density is getting slightly smaller as you go southeast. A bunch of different trees. One common one you see it looks like a tall light brown tree. The color of their flowers, the color of the petals are currently, well, I guess, color of the leaves are currently pink. So, I mean, there's your pink, I guess.
Okay. Is it like, I didn't ask, I should have asked this first. Is it like characteristically dark Enchanted Forest, or is it like bright out?
Very bright.
Okay, it is bright out. Okay, cool.
Yes. You also notice, yeah. You also
Okay, so
notice
it's common.
another trees you notice are medium-sized looking trees with very long branches and dentale-shaped leaves. The wood, like the other tree, is also a light brown, but it's thicker and not as tall. The leaves appear to be light green, and you know that there are a bunch of flowers on them that are like a bit white and yellow.
White and yellow flowers. Could I? Actually, no. That's not what an apple tree looks like. I don't think.
There's no fruits on it, regardless.
Yeah, regardless. All right. So those are the type of trees. I make note of that for now,
Yeah.
just in my head.
Yeah. Another tree you note that looks common is a beautiful looking tree with white leaves. Their trunks are also light brown, but much lighter than the other trees. Their foliage looks very large and effective, and it almost feels like a big bright orb of light in the middle of a forest. It's uncharacteristically white.
Those are common, you said?
It's uncommon.
Uncommon. Okay, but they're there.
They're
okay.
there.
All right. Are there any like noticeable noises? Like, could I hear any like?
Besides the white noise of a forest you'd expect in this form of insects and the wind and the birds above, not really.
All right, cool. How long theoretically would I be walking for? Like, realistically, I'd probably walk for about 15 minutes before doing something else.
You'd say that you took an hour to fly. Say according to the sun, you maybe got here around 10. It's 11. You walk from there. I mean, yeah, up to you.
All right.
How long do you want to walk for? I suppose it's been we say it's been about 10 minutes.
All right. So I've made a pretty good. I gotten a pretty good idea of this forest, and also you said the density of the trees is thinning.
Yes.
So I keep walking in this direction.
You keep walking this direction. You note another very common looking tree. They seem to have medium-sized trunks, And what you seem to notice is that about the trees is that they glitter more than the other trees around you. They seem to
This
have,
particular tree?
yes, this particular type of tree seems to be glowing more in a sense. And you also notice some fruit growing on them as well. You note
Can I
that,
investigate the fruit?
yeah, you note that these trees seem to be common, and you can tell based on the size of their trunks and the fruit on them that they're all the same tree. However, their leaves are different color depending on the tree. Some are red, some are green, some are blue, some are white, some are like fucking bronze. The colored leaves seem to be varying differently from tree to tree. However, you look at the fruit, and the fruit are all the same kind, and the trees are all the same kind. It's just the leaves.
All right. What colors do I pass?
We'll say red,
Or
blue.
slash can see right now.
Basically red, blue, light green, bronze, light blue, and purple.
All right. Let's see. I think about this and I go, well, I remember picking fire and air. So, as my affinities,
This is
I remember this. He made me do that, and I was upset that he only let me pick 2. And so I walk up to the red one, and I look at it, and I was like, I might be overthinking this, but I feel like the leaves correlate to what the fruit tastes like, and or is. So I'm gonna see if there's anything eating this particular fruit. Is there anything that's eating this fruit? Does it look
bugs?
edible? Is some bugs eating it or birds eating it? Does it look edible?
There are some that are like on the ground and there are like bites taken out of it, sure.
Alright, cool. I hover up there and pick one.
You have to fly up to the tree and pick one of the fruits. You pick the red one. It reminds you of almost like a pear, but with like a less distinguishable, like thinner top.
Okay. Characteristically of what I do in real life, I sniff it. I sniff it.
Snick it.
I sniff it, kind of lick it, and then if it doesn't hurt me, I bite it.
You sniff it. It smells like kind of like. It doesn't really smell like much. You lick it, and you kind of get a tingly feeling on your tongue.
And then I bite it.
You bite it into it, and it feels like biting into an apple. You chew it, and it definitely is fruity and sweet. Although you admit to yourself it's also spicy. Oddly spicy. It's not like unbearably spicy, but you didn't expect it to be spicy. And yeah, as you swallow, it doesn't really taste bad, nor does it seem to be harming you. And as you eat it, you kind of feel some part of you be rejuvenated. It feels odd, like a part of your like inner being, not like physical or mental, but like something inside of you just kind of being rejuvenated. It's odd.
I eat a fruit.
You eat the fruit. You eat the fruit.
It's spicy. I feel good.
You eat the fruit.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Alright. So, that's cool. So, I didn't expect it to be spicy, but also it makes sense that it was spicy.
Yes.
To me. So I land and I look at the other ones. I don't want to waste the fruit. I don't have a bag, right?
No.
Ugh. Could I theoretically make a bag?
The fruit. I mean, you could try.
I don't want to waste the fruit, but I want to try all of them. I don't think I can eat 6 different fruits.
I mean,
I
you
don't
might.
Waste them. Right. I'm tiny. I'm only gonna eat 6 of them.
Not that tiny.
I mean, I'm 3 feet tall. Okay. Well.
Yeah, the fruit aren't that big. They're like the size of an apple, which is like 4 inches
Well,
tall.
I'll eat this one. I'll finish eating this one, and I guess I'll just pick 3 to start with. So I ate the red one. I look around. I'm gonna eat the blue. No. I'm gonna eat the blue. No, I'm gonna eat the blue one. Yeah, I'm gonna eat the blue one next.
The blue one. And take a bite. Unlike the other one, like as you bite into it, juices immediately start flowing out. Like almost like getting your hands a bit sticky. You chew into it, and it feels like almost feels like eating watermelon, where it like, although it's crunchy, but like watermelon, how there's so much water in it, it just like feels tastes of that. It tastes slightly sweet, and however, unlike the other fruit, you don't get the same refreshing feeling from eating it. It just tastes good.
Okay. No refreshing feeling. Got it. I eat this one. So in my mind, I mark it. I'm like, okay, that one is fire related. That one is water related. Let's see. I look. I'm like, and I'm trying to. I don't think I would remember, but I'm trying to remember if I feel like air would be associated with purple or, well, light blue would be ice. Purple feels like dark. What were the other 4 colors? It was purple, bronze.
It was the total colors were red, blue, light green, bronze, light blue, and purple.
Okay, green, bronze, light blue, and purple. All right. I know. I think I'll try the purple one. I'm gonna try the purple one.
You go up to the purple one and take a bite. You bite into it, and it feels like you're biting into soda. You eat it, it tastes sweet and nice, however, it fizzes in your mouth, almost like crackling in a sense. It feels like when you drink soda, that like carbonated feeling you get.
Well, I still eat it, but bleh.
Yeah, You also don't get the rejuvenating feeling.
Okay, so this one is not air. Good to know. And then I finish it. And so I look at the other 3. I'm like, do I eat the other 3 too? Because
starting to get a bit full, admittedly.
All right, I think I'll eat one more. I want to see what the ice one tastes like, and I eat the light blue one.
You grab the light blue one and take a bite, and immediately it feels like you're biting into a mint. Your entire mouth starts feeling cold. It's juicy, it's sweet. However, you feel like you're eating a mint, not like, so it doesn't like freeze your mouth, but like now your mouth is cold.
Yep, that's about what I thought it would taste like.
No rejuvenating feeling as well.
Yeah, I figured, but I wanted to know what it tasted like. All right, so I eat that one, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll come back and try the other 2 one day. I don't know.
I mean, they're kind of everywhere, so.
Oh, okay, cool. I will be trying the other ones one day.
Yeah, the trees are.
I will be trying the other one. All right, I will find the air one. I will do it. I don't know what color air would be. I sang this out loud as I keep walking.
Yeah,
I am saying this out loud as I keep walking. Just I don't know which one the air would be because I feel like
there's only 2 colors
white, left. But also no, because yeah, there was green and bronze. But then my best thought would be like earth and, well, maybe green was air. Or if green is air, I'm gonna kill that god because that's stupid. All right, who the fuck makes green air? I'm saying this out loud, by the way.
Light green.
Light green. I was always light green air. I say out loud. To the forest, regardless of anyone is listening. She's saying this to the Venti main. Yeah, no, I know exactly what I'm saying. I literally know exactly what I'm saying. Don't worry about it. And she goes, I'm like, well, cause like air is like, and then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I mean, there's also like, you're gonna kill me for this, Connor. There's also like Beyblade. Like all the air Beyblades were like green.
Swear to God.
But like, I shrug. I there's something else tingling at the back of my mind that might be like green, but I don't remember and keep walking. SMH. Anyway, I keep walking. I will find the air one eventually.
Continue. Oh, the air one was there, but.
Oh, I know. I figured.
Yeah.
But
you continue walking when suddenly you hear the sound of like a creature walking past you from your left. You can't see them because the trees are a bit too thick in that area. It doesn't seem to be approaching you. It just seems to be walking by. Doesn't know your presence.
I go to investigate.
Okay, with completely disregarding any sense of safety. Using your small body to hide behind trees, you begin to slowly approach the creature. You look around the corner and finally see the thing. It looks like a bear with 3 pairs of legs. Their fur seems to currently be bronze colored, and however their belly, from what you're able to gather, looks like rainbowed, with like the colors constantly changing between rainbow colors. They seem to have a large
Iridescent?
face. Hmm?
Iridescent?
Yes.
Okay.
They have a large face that extended snout and large fanged teeth. They look to be wandering across the plains and using their large fangs and snout to dig up flowers and fruits.
Mm. Damn.
Huh?
I don't say anything out loud, but I think to myself, damn, that's a big bear.
It is a pretty big bear.
That is a pretty big bear. How big is this bear exactly, again?
Imagine a bear, but like 25% bigger.
Like a... Well, a lot of bears are different sizes. Like,
Average-sized bear.
Polar bears... That doesn't...
Average-sized grizzly bear.
Oh, grizzly bear. Okay, cool. Okay, so grizzly bear. Okay, got it. And I'm 3 feet tall. Great.
Yes.
So I'm like, not messing with that. However, that is cool. And I go back the way I came from.
Returning to the way you came from, the beast doesn't really notice or seemingly he seems to care about you. You return back to the path.
And I keep walking southeast.
As you walk southeast, continuing, any other trees? You don't really notice any other new trees.
Cool.
As you walk, some creatures begin to jump past you. One in particular appears to be this rabbit-like creature that seem to be jumping from like trees and the ground.
Rabbit. They're rabbit-like, right?
Yeah, rabbit-like.
Okay. How big are they?
A bit bigger than a rabbit. They have very large hind legs that bend almost all the way up to their head. That you can see they're using to like spring.
So they put the mix between a rabbit and a frog.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was imagining something different for a moment there.
They seem to have dark brown fur but a white underbelly. Their noses are long and they have short pointed ears. You see, whenever they like jump, they fully extend their legs. They're like double the length of their total body and like can spring all the way up into the treetops.
Yep, that's a frog. Yep, that's a frog right there. Sure. I was like, I watched them for a little bit because I don't think they're hostile.
They're not. Okay.
I watched them for a little bit because they look interesting. And also, I got nothing else better to do right now.
Literally.
I'm just in a forest, having a good time. At least I didn't get attacked by a giant snake yet. Unlike Jamal, who's probably caused it. Okay, be honest. Did Jamal initiate the fight with the giant snake?
No, but he also didn't help it because he didn't know how to fly.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. All right. After like 5 minutes of watching rabbit frogs jump around. I keep going. I'm gonna keep walking. Until I lose my determination to just keep walking in a straight line. I'm just gonna keep walking.
As you've walked for about an hour now, and as you walk, you continue to walk, and as the sun begins to start peeking over like the zenith and starts to set, the very opposite, it's like around like 1:10 a.m. 1:10 p.m. The trees continue to thin. It starts getting thinner and thinner, and you think that if you walk for much longer, you'll probably come across some sort of body of water or whatever. Maybe plains or whatever.
Yeah, it's certainly gotta be fucking something.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if it's getting thinner, I mean, I might as well try learning how to fly better, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so I start flying again, and basically I'm just practicing flying by flying forward.
You take off into the air and start flying amongst the trees, trying to get better at it. As you fly for maybe another 20 minutes, and it's probably around 1:30. You get more comfortable with the hang of it as you practice more and think that if you keep working at it, you should be able to fly like it's second nature. Eventually, a clearing in the forest appears, as you see that the forest kind of ending.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
I am now at the edge of the clearing.
Mhm.
What do I see? Is
You
it just like
you reach
a
the clearing of the forest, and just
Oh, you're fine.
a vast, seemingly ocean just kind of stretches before you.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Repeat that, Connor. Sorry.
a vast ocean just kind of stretches before you. Could be an ocean, could not be. Regardless, you can't see any land or
Yeah.
any like. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Does the forest continue along the coast
Yes,
or
as
a
far as you
cliff?
can see.
Is it a coast or a cliff?
Coast.
Okay.
The
Cool.
forest stretches as long as you can see.
All right. In both directions.
Yes.
All right. Time to spin the wheel again. No, I'm joking. I'm heading southeast,
Yes.
so I don't have any really good indication of where I could find other things
No, not at all.
right now. Okay. Hmm. I think I'm just gonna keep going east
Mhm.
because I've already gone southeast. I might as well just keep going fucking east. So I go to if I'm coming, I'm go to the my left, which is east.
You mean north?
Wait,
You're facing
no,
the
like
ocean. The ocean is east.
oh, but I was going south. Whatever.
You're traveling
All right.
southeast and you come across the ocean, which was east.
Oh, okay. I guess I go north.
Okay. You begin traveling north. You kind of hold along the coastline and noticing just the endless trees. You continue to use this chance in this more open area to practice flying more, and you get better at maneuvering not just forward but also left to right and back and up and down. You're able to move
I've
more.
definitely fallen at
Yes,
least twice.
definitely a few times. You continue to work at it, and unlike a certain fallen angel, you actually like get better at flying and don't just assume you can. A certain fallen happens to just be on the other side of the continent, in a certain desert area, maybe across a certain mountain range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly. I can see
Uh,
Jamal's energy being bad across the continent.
real. Anyways, yeah. You continue traveling north. You go for maybe another hour. It's
Okay.
probably around 2:30. Nothing really eventful happens because you're hugging the coastline. However, as you travel, you hear suddenly as you continue to walk, you
Oh, you're
hear
good.
yeah.
All right, you're fine. Yeah, Connor.
Yeah, you continue to walk and eventually you start hearing commotion coming up ahead. The sound of what sounds like people and a fight.
Okay. Up ahead, right?
Yes. Up ahead and into the forest.
Okay. I don't know how to use magic yet, right?
No idea. You have skills though. And
I have skills, but I have no idea how to use
yeah,
magic.
skills
Okay.
are inherent things. Yeah, skill. One thing you should know: you always know how to use your skills. They're just something that kind
Okay.
of just comes intrinsically to you.
So I just intrinsically know all my skills.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Charity is not going to help me here. Feywild and Pride might. I suppose we'll find out. All right. So it's in the forest. And I have to pass it at least, right?
I mean, technically, if you hug the coastline, you might be able to go around them.
I mean, yes, but like if I'm going around it, I'm technically still passing them,
Yes.
right? Okay. So they're up north, and I'm theoretically. So they're how far? Can I tell how far into the forest they are from where I am?
Definitely far enough to where you can't see them. Close enough to where you're able to, at the very least, hear the sounds of the sword hitting something.
Can I hear words?
Now,
Okay.
actually,
Could I even understand them?
you can hear the screams of like certain commands, but they're vague and you don't really make them out. Yes, you can understand them.
Okay, cool. All right. So we got swords, commands, vaguely, probably. There aren't any like magic noises? Question mark. Like maybe like sounds of spells going off.
You can kind of make out the sound. Yes, make out sound of spells going off.
Spells going off. Okay. Let's see. Is it possible to just kind of see. Okay, well, realistically, in real life, I would probably just go, well, they're having fun, and then walk past. But also, the reason I wanted to be isekai is because I have cool stuff now. I want to go see. I
Uh-huh.
think about leaving it alone, but I do want to at least see what's going on. Like peek. I want to peek. I want to
Uh-huh.
see how many people died. You know, like
Bruh. Bruh.
a slash J kind of way.
Uh-huh.
I do want to go peek.
You enter the forest a bit and begin to maneuver between the trees, peeking around a corner and peeking around the corner of a tree. You find the opening what was happening, and you see 3 of those big bears that you saw earlier attacking what appear to be a group of elves. There's four of them. They all have the same seamless skin tone. They have this dark brown skin tone with ears. Not like dark elf. You don't think that they're they'd be dark enough to be dark elves, but they're certainly
Mm-hmm.
brownish, kind of brownish, like light brown, almost feels like a tan. There's one of them seems to be one of them has a sword and shield and light mail. He seems to be the warrior. There's another elf who's much taller and more robust. He's carrying a great sword, and the one with the great sword seems to be more injured than the one with the sword. And there seems to be a female elf who is who seems to be the wizard, and another one who seems to be just general support. She has
Okay.
not only does she have a staff, but she also has knives and such and
Put
potions.
4 bears. I meant 4 elves.
Yes,
4 fighters. So we
they're
have
clearly outmatched.
2 front lines, 1 rear line, and what was the last one?
A mage.
That's so 2 rear. No, support. That's what it was.
2 supports. Yeah. Okay.
1 rear
They
line,
seem to be struggling. They have one of the beasts is injured, and the 2 frontliners are definitely injured, and the other 2 in the back seem to be getting tired. No one has died, according to
Damn
you.
it. Anyway,
No.
so slash
Okay.
I'm joking, maybe. Anyway. It says you, the fucking succubus running a drug ring. Shut the fuck up. You don't give a fuck.
Listen,
Anyway.
they're legal, technically.
Anyway, are all of the bears adults?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, from what you can discern, none of them look
Okay.
blatantly childlike.
Okay. Cool. So they're all at least older. Do any of them use fire magic? Like the mage and the... Yeah.
The mages, as you watch the battle for a bit, she seems to be casting enhancement magic on the warriors that allows them to move faster. As for attack magic, as you watch, she does throw out a few water spells.
Damn it, water. I can't do water.
You watch as the water spells hit the beast. However, as it hits the beast, as it flies towards the beast, one of the beast's fur changes color changes color to purple, and seems to take its attack head on. Meanwhile, the warrior charges at one of the other beasts, and the beast then changes its color to brown, and the man tries to strike the beast, but it bounces off of the beast's fur. You know that that these bears, although their underbelly is ever-changing colors, they seem to be able to change their fur on a dime to different colors that appear to be able to allow them to better counter both physical attacks and magical attacks.
Okay. So, alright. Let's see. I have an idea. Oh, wait. I have fast flight. Forgot about that. I have double the flight speed.
Oh, this is true.
Just for the future. I have double the flight speed. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was another one I was looking at. It's... Alright. Do any of them have weak mental fortitudes?
You can give it a shot.
I try and read the minds of the closest one who's injured.
You try reading the mind of the closest person who's injured, who is the warrior. You're not sure if he has a weak mental fortitude, or if it's just because he is so exhausted in the fight and is so focused on it, but you manage to read his mind. You roughly read his mind, and what you're able to gather is essentially these guys were adventurers. They're here on a quest, and they didn't think that there would be 3 Fey beasts this far out of the forest, essentially. That's what you're able to gather.
Ah. Okay. Can can I can I use Dreamer to figure out what their mission was? Well, actually, no. That's primary dream /
Yeah.
envision. I don't know if it would work
It
on.
wouldn't, no.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Can I try and would I be able to figure out what their mission was or no?
Not at your current state, no.
Okay, cool.
Not with
Let's see.
not with basic skills.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
had something like an advanced skill that had
Yeah, I figured.
then yeah.
I figured. I didn't make it an advanced skill for a reason.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Are there any objects nearby I can throw that's large?
Large?
Large.
Not particularly. There are some plants, trees,
Alright.
pebbles, flowers, but no big, like, obvious boulder, for example.
Alright. Is the reason they're not running because they're cornered?
No, it more looks like they don't think they'd be able to get away.
They don't think they'd what?
They'd be able to get away.
Okay. How strong is my telekinesis right now?
You probably pick things up.
Can I throw each of them at the beach?
You could probably pick up, I'd say 4 times your weight. 4 or 5 times your weight.
Do you think I could pick up how many of them would I be able to pick up? Like, individually. I'm not doing it all at the same time. Yeah, like if I tossed one and then tossed the other, and then tossed the other one, and then tossed the other one, you know? I just yeet, yeet, yeet,
Healthy weight range of a 3-foot tall person is 40 pounds. So you could carry someone reasonably 160 to 200 pounds. Reasonably. I'd say you could pick up the 3, but not the buff guy.
Not the buff guy. Okay. Well, better than nothing. That's my that's my point of view. Besides, if they get away, he can just run, right? He can just run.
That's stellar reasoning.
I know he totally won't just die if I do that. No, he'll probably die if I do that. I hesitate. Let's see. I can create a short sound. Can I create a sound behind the bears that screams over here, nasties?
Yeah.
Alright, I do that.
You activate...
I use trickery to... Yeah.
You activate the skill trickery and make the sound of just any kind of voice you can imagine saying, over here, fucking nasties or whatever. The bears get startled, turn around, and although the elves are confused, the buff man takes the advantage to charge at the bears along with the warriors, and before the bears realize, they manage to cut one of them down. It's now only a 2v4, and they look much more relieved than they have to deal with 2 of them.
Bruh. And literally, in the background, my first thought is, God damn it, they were supposed to run away! Fuck! Alright, well, fine, I'll use another short sound. Fucking, maybe they'll run away this time?
Trickery's on cooldown.
Oh, it is? Okay, cool.
Can't use it all the
time.
Do
I know the cooldown?
No.
Okay, cool. Alright,
it just is.
Alright. Let's see. Alright. Well, yeah, all of my things are passive. So, well, that worked. So I was like, well, they were supposed to run. I'm like, now I'm doing.
As you continue to watch, you notice the mage appears to be who looks very tired. Basically after dispatching one of the bears, the other 2 bears charge the warriors. The smaller warrior manages to get away. However, the other bigger warrior is forced to block with his sword. And you notice that the mage, in order to pull away, to pull the bear off them, casts a spell. And Will you be close enough to hear her cast the spell? I'd say
Up
no.
to you,
I'd say
honestly.
no.
Oh.
She doesn't exclaim it. She just kind of says it. You can see her mouth moving, but you don't really make out the name. However, she slashes her hand, and a large blade of what looks to be wind magic flies out and strikes the bear, knocking it back so the guy can escape.
Wait. Oh, all right. Well, let's go with that. And I crack my fingers, fly around through the forest. What would be the positioning of this?
If we imagine an
there's-
open field
Okay.
with north, south, east, and west, you're behind the
Okay.
foliage south. The bears are
Mhm.
on the west side, and the people are on the
Mhm.
east side.
Okay. So when they hit the bear off, are they now behind the bear on the west?
No, they
Or
have
are they on
they've
the
just
east?
backed. They've backed up to the east.
Okay, cool. So I fly around through the forest to the east, and I just go. Psst. Wait, I don't know. Did I hear? Psst. Hey, over here.
You fly around the east side and get behind the mage, and you whisper to her, and she immediately gets startled and looks around, saying, "Am I hello?"
Bruh, are you blind?
No, well, I mean,
Oh wait, I'm small.
you're small. You're tiny.
I fly up, so I'm eye level with her, and I'm staring her dead in the fucking eye.
She looks at you and then backs up, almost falling. She almost like falls backwards and says, "A fae?"
Quick, what was the name of that spell?
She looks at you surprised, says, "I'm sorry."
What was the name of that spell? Hurry!
She manages. Although it's completely unsure to do, considering there's a fucking fae. Clearly, she's so surprised. She says, "It's wind slash."
Perfect. So I saw it and know it, and I saw it and heard it. Do I get to know it?
Yes.
Yes, let's go. What do I have to do to use it?
Just use it.
Like, do we have like a mana pool or something?
Yes, you have a mana pool of 1,000.
Okay, I have 1,000. Wind slash takes up how much?
You don't know.
Oh, I don't. Fuck. All right, fine.
So okay, when Prodigy activates, you can, actually, yeah, sure. You know, I'll say that's how Prodigy works. When Prodigy, when you learn the spell, you've seen the spell, and you learn the spell, and suddenly you feel a part of you activate, and you.
Oh, that works out.
Yeah, and you seem to gain. Prodigy activates, and you suddenly gain the knowledge of the spell Wind Slash. You recognize its mana cost, its range, what it can do.
All right, no charge time. All right, great. So as she says that, she sees me smile brightly as I'm like, perfect. And I can fly higher, right? I can't fly fast, but I can fly higher.
You can fly high.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if I could still fly. Okay, so I fly higher, and immediately I just yell. I have to say it, right? I have to say it.
Yes, you have to say the name.
Okay. So I yell wind slash, directly hitting. Wait, how long is it? Range 20 meters. Are the bears within 20 meters of each other?
Yes.
No, are the bears within 20 meters? Okay,
within 20 meters of each other? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I use wind slash and hit both of them.
Well, you can't hit both. The range is how long it can travel, not its size.
Oh, fuck. What is this? Is there a size? Oh, it doesn't matter.
There's no size. No.
All right, I'll just hit the one. Okay, so wind slash already hit the other bear. I'm gonna hit the other bear, the one that didn't get hit with wind slash.
Yeah, you cast wind slash, and following what the woman did, you slash the air, and a large blade of wind flies out and strikes the bear. The bear gets knocked back just a bit and kind of loses its momentum of attack.
All right, I wait 5 seconds. It cast it one more time.
Yeah.
At that same bear.
Yeah. You continue to wait 5 seconds, and before the bear starts to get back, you cast it again, striking it. Do you just want to repeat this?
Just that time, I slash it a second time. Fly forward, and can the bear understand me at all?
No.
Okay, fuck. All right. Can I see? If this was D&D, I'd say I'd roll intimidate. Can I intimidate the bear? Can I try?
How so?
I hit it twice. With a fucking wind slash attack.
How do you plan on intimidating it?
All right, I raise my hand up in the air, a gesture that I'm gonna fucking do it again, and if he doesn't leave, with
Yeah.
my expression.
bear-
I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
do it again.
The bear at first doesn't realize who attacked it. However, after the second slash, it looks up and sees you, and it's not intimidated. However, both bears look at you and seemingly look at each other. And although it kind of looks like they have like a moment of realization, they look at you and they almost look like they're bowing to you in an apology and just turn around and they just turn around and casually walk away.
I, okay. Well, I put my hands on my hips. That was not what I expected them to do. But you know what? That works out. They're gone. Yes. First battle defeated. I realize I said that out loud and go, I turn around very quickly and go, "Are you all okay?" And way too enthusiastically. And I realize I said that way too enthusiastically in my head and try to tone it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You
So,
tone it down,
yeah.
and the elf mage
Okay,
still
wait,
startled.
no. So okay, so to clear up what I did, okay, so I go, yes, first battle defeated. Realize I said that out loud. Try to cover it up by turning around, asking if they're okay, realizing I said that too enthusiastically, and then do a ahem. Are you all okay?
The others, you see that as the battle's over, the other support elf seems to be handing red-looking potions to the two warriors. They drink it, and their wounds and fatigue start to heal. They, the mage looks at you and says, "Yeah, we're fine. Thank you."
Do thumbs up exist in this world?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I give them a thumbs up, and I'm like, it was nothing. I was just, passing by as I totally do. May I ask though, what are you doing all the way out here?
The other support woman, I was always call her other support, looks at you and says, "I feel like we should be asking you that. We really." He says, "Don't Fae normally live much deeper into the forest?"
Well, you see, and I flick my hair up dramatically. Not all Fae stay in their little huts all the time. It literally says in the fairy lore for elemental Fae that they just kind of travel. So, can I just tell
the
them?
elemental Fae are also very rare.
That's true.
They're the most rare of all the Fae.
I'm just gonna say, oh, well, I wanted to travel, and I figured, hey, the edge of the forest isn't that dangerous, so I can explore a little,
Yeah. Trying so hard to, make
I'm
these
trying
people
so
convince
hard.
these people, you realize you accidentally activate your advanced skill Venus unconsciously, and
Fuck. I'm so confident in myself right now.
They start to look at you eyes wide with admiration.
I'm so confident in myself right now, obviously, because damn.
They just start looking at you
Keep in mind, Venus works with charisma.
Yeah,
boost.
I am aware. Yes,
and their passive abilities.
Yeah. and the mage then starts bowing to you, thanking you profusely, saying that she likely wouldn't have made it. They wouldn't have survived against those Fae beasts if she hadn't showed up.
You're welcome, I say, putting my hands on my hips, not knowing what's going on in the slightest.
The warrior then comes up to you and thanks you as well.
But you know what? If they wanna bow, I don't know what am I supposed to say. I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
The largest man comes up and says, "Who would have thought we would have?" He looks and kind of scratching his head says, "I never would have thought that we really would have encountered a Fae this early into the forest." He looks at you and says, "If you he looks at you and give me a second. I gotta check information."
Fucking bird, not all Fae. Shut up, man. Okay, not all Fae.
Yeah. He introduced. Yeah. The large man bows kind of respectfully, and says his name is Allred, and he is the leader of this party. He explains to you that they are adventurers from Salwalonia, name.
Hang on, I'm gonna start writing real quick. I forgot to write during that whole thing.
Want me to give
I'm
you a
gonna
second?
write. Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna. Okay, so 2 of fighters from real
Not
support.
all Fae.
I not all Fae. I use trickery, distract bears. They kill one. Other 2 attacky. Buff guy.
I'm all
Defend.
struggling to learn magic after like even after 3 sessions. Crystal. Oh, this is Control C, Control V.
Fucking prodigy, so man. Fucking prodigy, man. Other 2 attacky, buff guy defense.
Dread's like I had to buy a book and everything. What is this shit?
I had to train. I had to go undergo training arts, and she just like fucking just stares.
Ooh, wind splash.
My first spells took me 2 hours, and my other ones took me 30 minutes each.
Me, haha, prodigy. Fuck you.
Wait, this means that she won't learn the how to struggle on, and it'll like affect her later on. Let's go. Let's go.
It may use.
She also has a mana pool of 1,000. To be fair.
Yeah, because I'm an elemental fae.
Yeah, I'm elemental fae. So her mana pool is absolutely ginormous.
I told you when I built this character, I made them. See, you guys made them beefy, but in like a cringe way. I made mine beefy in a very much passive way, and it works out great for me. I fly up to them, ask what the spell was. Copy plus paste. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
I slashed the other bear twice. Other bear twice. For some reason, both bears bow and leave. Much confusion.
Much confusion.
Confusion. I accidentally activate Venus upon trying to convince this party that I totally know what I'm doing. But I totally know what I'm doing, and that I'm totally not lost at all in the slightest. Nuh-uh.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. And now they're bowing too. In parentheses, fuck. What do I do?
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, the man introduces himself as Allred, and he says that him and his party, they were adventurers from Sawalonia. They had been tasked to hunt down some elf dogs on the outskirts of the Great Fairy Forest, and they didn't expect to run into any Fae beasts as they normally stay deeper into the middle and deepest parts of the woods.
Hunt down what kind dogs?
Elf dogs.
Oh, elf dogs. Okay. And how do you pronounce the name of the... How do you spell the name of the...
Alred.
Oh, that's his name. I meant the name of the city.
Oh, the city? S-A-L, first part, Sol, Wallonia. W-L-O-N-I-A.
W-L-O-N-I-A.
Yeah, W-I-L-O-N-I-A.
W-I-L-O-N-I-A?
Yes, Sawalonia.
Okay. Sawalonia. Alright. His name is Allred. Great.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So his name is Allred. He's from Sawalonia. He has a party. They pound down some elf dogs. And I say, out of curiosity, exactly does an elf dog look like?
He explains, he asks if you've never seen one before.
Well, like you said, Fae almost never leave, the deep parts of the forest. I just left because I thought it would be fun. And so I've never seen an elf dog.
Allred explains that they're not much bigger than the average canine, and the color of the fur depends on the element they're born with. He said they're capable of using basic spells and have sharp teeth and claws and tend to travel in small packs. He said they're generally not that aggressive, but they can cause trouble if people wander upon too many of them.
Okay. Cool. Fur color correlates to elements. I kind of want to tame one now, but I will leave that for the future.
Jamal already did that, actually.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna be the second?
Yes.
I'll be the second one to tame one. I actually technically, when did Jamal tame it?
Actually, a fair point. Jamal assumes Elijah is just like a normal dog. Elijah can use magic. May I say? He just like never bothered to try. But yeah, no, Elijah
my-
could technically use magic, like basic spells, and so he could
So wait,
technically
what
support you.
What session did he tame the elf dog?
Like second.
Second? Alright, so if I tame it during this session, I will have technically tamed it before him.
Good point.
It's second
actually.
day, first session.
Yeah, that was second day. Yeah, regardless, you still did it on your first day. So yeah, no, you got the dog first, technically.
If I get the dog, if I tame it on the first day, then I will have beat Jamal,
Yes.
technically. Yeah. Alright, well, now I want to find an elf dog.
You want to be second place in taming an elf dog.
Jamal! I come in and all of a sudden you're second place again. Anyway, so, alright. No, that's a valid response to that. Alright, so it's time to run a blood pit. Oh, what is the foot? Alright, anyway, I'm now curious because hey, they're dogs. I've never seen an elf dog. They sound interesting. They're elemental. Could you imagine having a fire elf dog? Like, whoa. So I'm like, I see. Can I help?
He asks, sure. We had just recently arrived in the forest, and we need a quota of 10 before the day's, 5 before the day's end. The mage then looks at you and says, are you sure you want to help us? It's just, pretty... I mean, I appreciate your help, but, just the job could be a bit boring, she says.
Well, and I hum to myself, pretending to, I guess, think about it, and go, all I've been doing is walking and flying and wandering and eating fruit, and nothing really interesting has happened until now, so this is certainly an improvement. And I fly directly up to the mage's face as I say that. So why not? And I fly back.
He seems startled and, almost steps back. And they seem surprised at your friendliness. The mage kind of says, "Well, if you insist." They seem a bit the whole party just seems a bit odd that you're so outgoing. Clearly they had a different. Never mind. Yeah, they decided to introduce themselves since they're going to be traveling together. The mage introduces herself as Shalara, Shelara.
Okay.
The other support says her name is we'll say.
Oh hell yes! I love a girl boss.
We'll say her name. The other support's name is Caitlin, spelled how you think it's spelled.
Seriously?
Yeah. They can't all be creative.
Sure.
And the lighter warrior's name is Ascal.
Say again?
Ascal. Ascal.
Ascal.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
Skinny warrior.
Skinny warrior. Yes.
Alright. So we have buff warrior, skinny warrior, attack mage, and support mage.
Yes.
That's how it is in my head.
More or less.
Alright. So, they all introduce themselves, and it's not a thing in this world where the Fae, they get your name and they immediately...
No, that is not.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I was about to say, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Connor, I think they could just... Nah. Alright. So they give me all their names, and I go, and I'm Zinnia.
You just made that up on the spot, I suppose.
Literally, my entire lore accurate reason for why I chose the name Zinnia was I thought of the first cool fantasy name I could think of, and it was that. I was like, what's a cool name? And I went Zinnia, and I just went with it.
Mm-hmm. They say that they're happy to meet you, and say that they hope they won't be a bother to you.
No, of course not. Like I said, I have been a little bored trying to find something to do, so this will be fun.
Mm-hmm. They say all right. They tell you that they're currently at the outskirts of, as they all sit down in a circle, and Alred then pulls out a map
Do I have a map now? Theoretically?
Depends.
Can I look at
Did
it?
you ask him for it? You
I'm not gonna ask him for it, but I want to look at
can
it.
look
Can
at
I
it,
look at it?
sure. But you have to ask him to look at it.
Oh, fine. I won't look at it. Can I peek over his shoulder?
Well, I mean, that makes like the scenario. They
Oh,
all
okay.
sit down and open up the map, and he begins to explain where they currently are. You look over at the map, and it's a map of the continent you're currently on. You now have access to the political and geographical maps of Elvania for now.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can now
For
open
now.
the map folder and access both of those. You watch as Alred points to the Great Fairy Forest and the north.
Which one was it? Salvania?
Yeah, Elvania. The
Okay.
political and geographical maps.
Okay. Pull up the geographical one first.
He points to he basically explains that the Great Fairy. Yeah.
You need me to move?
He points to the Great Fairy
Sorry.
Forest and points to the top, like the northeasternmost point, and he notes that they're around there. You look at the forest and note that if you had probably traveled for maybe another 20 minutes, you would have left the forest entirely. Yeah. Alred
How
points
did I get there going southeast then?
because you went north.
Wait. I'm at the top right or the top left?
Top right.
Oh, top right. Okay. So I was in there, went down, went up again.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, you're in the top right
Damn
part
it, I
of the
should have gone down. Oh, I would have been out by now. That's fine.
Probably wouldn't have.
I mean, actually, no, then I would have come across the mountains. That's okay. I'm
Yeah.
looking at it. He says, you're at the top. He points to where we are. And I kind of make a note that there's a big fucking castle in the middle.
Yes, yes, there is. You could always ask him about it.
So I point to it. I go, what's that?
You point to the center of this castle in the middle of the Origin Lagoon, as it's marked. And he explains to you that that is essentially the capital. That is the nation of the High Elves, Sally Victus.
Okay.
He explains that Sally Victus sits in the center of the island middle of the Origin Lagoon, and not only acts as the nation of the High Elves, but also serves as the de facto capital for the Elven race.
Ah.
He explains that it's because the leader of Sally Victus is the revered High Elf King, Elven Celeste, who is known as he's known as the High Elf King. He's also regarded by many as like the king of all the elves as well.
Mm-hmm. So wait, I'm on. Wait. So I'm. Oh wait. So I'm. Hang on. I need to zoom in on this more. I cannot see it very well. Yes. Okay. So Sally Victus, default kingdom. Yep. Yada yada. I'm near Sal Valoria, further up north of it. Okay. Cool. So I make a note of where I am mentally for now, or roughly where I am mentally for now. And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Alred.
So then, what do you need the elf dogs for? Wait, actually, no. Fuck, I already forgot. So they pulled out the map, pointed to where we were. I asked what that was. They told me what it was, and I said, cool.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna not. Yeah. Did you want me to say anything else, or
Yeah,
are they gonna?
So he continues and explains that they're on the outskirts the northeastern part of the Great Fairy Forest. They need 5 elf dogs. And as he puts the map, you kind of examine the map of Elvania, take some mental notes about what it looks like, and then he puts it away.
Okay. So we're in the Great Fairy Forest.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm there, and then there. Okay.
Yeah.
So
he puts the map away. Yeah.
So he points to the north part of the forest?
Northeastern part, yes.
Okay, cool.
You're hugging the coast, so you're gonna be around that area.
No, I know, but there's like a whole fucking coast.
Yes.
So, okay, so I'm there. It's hard when you're not pointing directly at it.
Yeah.
Alright, so, okay, cool. There, okay, so I'm there, not there. Okay, cool. Okay, he closes it. I make a map of where I am. Cool.
Mhm.
All right. And in my mind, I'm like, that would explain why I spawned here of all places. But you know what? Fair enough.
Mhm.
I said that in my mind.
Yeah.
You know.
He puts the map away, and you can't use the maps anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. He says that the elf dogs, it shouldn't be too long to find the elf dogs, and they should be able to make quick work and return to Sawalonia.
Mm-hmm. How come they're this far from they're a whiles away from Selwyn?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I got that right. Okay. All right, so find elf dogs and come back.
Yes.
He closes the map. They stand up. I fly up and I go, "Do you need them alive or dead?" Out of
He
curiosity.
looks at you and says, "Oh, dead is fine."
Dead is fine, but alive is fine too, or you want them all dead?
Specifically dead, he says.
Okay, specifically dead. Okay, cool. So if I find 6, I can tame one.
True. He kind of looks at you and says, "I mean, I suppose."
I don't say that out loud. I don't say that out loud. I say that out of canon because I want to fucking tame a dog before fucking Jamal, because fuck Jamal, man.
That's valid.
You know,
It's valid.
no one fucking loves him. Anyway.
Yeah, real.
So.
Anyways,
all right.
You begin walking, well, I guess floating next to the party. You continue.
I wouldn't know where to find these, right?
No, not at all.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to summon them either.
What? No.
Because like the bears. But yeah. Anyway, good thing.
Yeah. You continue. You keep walking. The party's just kind of talking, and as you walk, oh, let me pull up the names. As you walk,
my memory of that.
Yeah, I know. Shalara kind of looks at you and asks, so is there any particular reason you decided to leave the inner parts of the Great Fairy Forest?
I think about it, and I kind of start flying backwards to like, as I'm flying, to like look at her. I guess I wanted. I kind of struggle. It felt like more fun than staying cooped up inside all the time. Because, like, and I try to, like, bullshit this as best as I can. Because obviously I did just kind of spawn here randomly. I guess it's kind of boring to just stay in the middle of a forest all the time with not many people to talk to besides yourself, and just, you know, killing and gathering and killing and gathering and killing and gathering. I'm like spinning around in circles as I say this, and then I stop and I go.
Yeah, Shalara looks at you and says, "I thought, but I heard that. Well, I've heard that the concentration of fays within the deeper parts of the Great Fairy Forest is very compromised. In fact, that it's kind of considered its own little world."
It is. That's why I left.
She looks.
And I keep flying forward.
She then looks at you and kind of asks, and the Fey Monarch was okay with that?
I pause, and I look at her, and I go, well, I use context clues, and go, no, but who cares about that? And I keep flying forward.
Shalara then looks at you and says, "Well, I heard that doesn't the Fey Monarch have basically telekinetic control over all those under her?"
I fly up to her and I whisper in her ear, "Not all." And I keep flying.
Shalara looks a bit intrigued.
I whisper.
Yeah. Shalara looks really intrigued, saying, "Really? I thought the Fey Monarch was like... Isn't the Fey Monarch supposed to be one of the most second most powerful being in the world? I feel like..."
I look over my shoulder at her. I am learning the new information. Keep in mind, I am pocketing this information, but I gotta play it cool. You know?
Yes.
I learn about the Fey Monarch, but if I ask, it'll make me look suspicious.
Yeah, no shit.
So, note to self, investigate this later. Investigate this later after I get a dog. You know? So, note to self, investigate this later, but I turned around to look at her and put my finger over my lips to indicate, you know, a shush. As I go, shh. And I'm like, what the monarch doesn't know won't hurt her.
She just looks at you and says, "I don't think that's how that works, but okay."
Well, I'm clearly not dead yet.
She looks at you and says, "I mean, maybe that's because you're still in the forest."
Maybe, maybe not. But either way, she hasn't come after me yet, so I'm just gonna keep exploring until she decides she's sick of me. It's fun
Shalara
out here.
Shalara just seems really surprised that you are so peaceful when discussing blatantly going against the Fey Monarch, and you can tell by her very dreaded looking face that this monarch is someone who is not to be trifled with.
I make a note of that too, but I keep up my air of aloofness.
Uh-huh.
I make a note of the fact that the Fey Monarch is probably a bitch. Like, a major bitch. So, definitely investigate that later. Because fuck the government. Alright, cool. And I go, well, I'm not, well, and I kind of just ignore her from there in terms of questions about the Fey Monarch, because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about, and if I keep talking, I'm gonna say something wrong.
No
So I just kind of shrug it off and keep flying, sticking with the answer of, hey, I'm not dead yet, so
uh-huh.
I must be fine for now.
Shalara then just kind of says, "Well, if you're sure."
I just nod with a thumbs up and a smile.
You continue walking, and as you walk, Shalara also asks, "Oh, by the way, how exactly did you learn that wind slash so quickly? Did you already know it?"
Oh, so do I know if advanced skills are common or not?
No idea.
Okay, I have no idea. All right. So I already figured that it's probably not a good idea to tell them I'm an elemental fae. So I didn't do that. But also, if I go and investigate the Fey Monarch, I'm never gonna see these people again. So, hypothetically, I could tell them. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Uh-huh.
They go back to their kingdom and go, yeah, we met a really powerful elemental fae. It's not like we're extinct or anything, right?
No.
So, I think about it, and I choose to answer honestly. I think. This might bite me in the ass, but I'm going to choose to answer and just go, oh, it's one of my skills.
She looks surprised and asks, "If what is that, if I may ask?" Like,
Oh, it's wait. Oh, it's Prodigy.
the woman looks surprised and says, "Oh,
it's an advanced. I'm not telling anyone my unique skills, but
yeah."
like,
so he says,
skills
"Oh,
are okay."
I think I've heard of that. I heard it's one of the more rare advanced skills. I mean, but that would make sense though."
Yeah, I mean, Prodigy is good for a lot of things, learning magic, seeing magic. It's great to help me defend myself. I don't tell that. Let me double check my other advanced skills real quick. So, Prodigy and telekinesis can be explained by the fact that I'm a fae. Priceless and rejuvenate is passive, so no one's gonna know. Rider and Venus are also passive, so no one's gonna know. Alright, cool. So the two advanced skills that people would actually know about, I can explain by being fae. Great. Alright. Works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Might be more common because I'm a fae, but all I know is I have it.
Shalara seems to agree that makes sense, and asks what your magical. Can I ask what magic can you use?
Currently, my affinities are in fire and wind, but I suppose I could do basically anything if I wanted.
She looks at you surprised, and I kind of ask, "What do you mean by that?"
I look at her and I go, take a guess. I like having a little bit of. I love a good guessing game.
She looks at you confused and doesn't really know. She kind of asks, "Can you use? Do you have a catalyst?"
At least I don't think so. I pat my body all over.
Krista, I put true fairy magic down and gave you the description.
Yeah, I know. I made her guess that I was an elemental fae.
Well, that's not what true fairy magic that you added to it. That what I added was all it can do.
Oh. That's the description in the, fae document, though.
What?
In the Fae document, that's what it says. Every elemental Fae is born with the equal amount of aptitude for the 9 elements. Typically, though, once a Fae has picked one element to study, their affinity for every element decreases to make way for that element.
I did not realize you put that there.
I didn't put that there!
You wrote this entire document.
No, I wrote up to Light Fae and then I
you
stopped.
wrote all of these.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
Oh, I went out of what you said in the master document.
You mean the
Where
race
is it?
document?
The race list.
Yeah, that doesn't include that.
Does it not? Oh. Yeah, true Fae magic.
Yeah,
And then
I
you-
did
you-
not realize you put that there. Yeah, no.
You didn't read it? You
No,
told me
I
I could
did.
do it!
I just didn't see that part somehow. Yeah, no, cut that out. Yeah, no, that is not.
You could have cut it out a while ago. You just left it.
Yeah, I never saw it.
That's not my fault. That's not my fault.
You also didn't ask me about it, but yeah, no, cut that out.
No, because I asked, do you have, like,
You
criteria
did
for
this
this?
in January.
Yeah!
You think I remember that?
No, but you did say I could basically do whatever I wanted, so...
Yeah, I missed this part somehow.
Somehow. But yeah, you said I could do whatever I wanted.
Yeah, I didn't think
so...
you'd do something as fucking outlandish as that. Although I still missed it, admittedly.
Well, you didn't tell me what the race skill could do, so I made something
Well, I
up just
told
like
you
the
not to
rest of
do
them.
the race skills. I told you just to do the description. I said I'd add the skills later.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Jamal can confirm. When I told him to,
Well-
and Jamal and Drake can both confirm. When I told them to write races, I told them to just leave out the skills because I'd punch those in later.
Yeah, like
Oh.
I didn't do mine.
Okay, well, you didn't tell me that when I started.
I know
because
I
literally...
did.
No, because I got to Light Fae, stopped for a couple months. You read through Wood and Water, which already had the race skills in it, and said it was fine. All of them have race skills in it. Wood Fae does, Water Fae does, Light Fae does, and Elemental Fae does. I asked you about it, and you said...
Well, it
I
wasn't
left-
months
yeah,
later.
and
You did the whole thing in like 3 days.
No, I didn't. I stopped at Light Fae, and then
No, what are
eventually
you
you
talking about? Oh, okay, it was a month. Less than a
A
month.
I can't see the doc timeline.
You can check on it.
I'm trying to... Oh, here it is. Yeah, I started in December, and then, like, a month later, I finished
Yeah, a
it.
month.
But, like... So, yeah, it was... I got halfway to Light Fae. I had you read through Wood and Water. You even reformatted it at some point, because you looked through it. So I figured it was fine,
Wait.
because it was in there. It's
No, you
all
didn't.
of them
You
are
didn't
in
include the race skill. Look, go to the December 17th. You didn't include it. See?
there.
Yeah, you didn't add it until after I checked. And if you look at the timeline, I only ever looked through the document on January 7th, and at the time you didn't add the race skills, so I probably assumed that you weren't going to.
When did I add the race skills
Yeah,
then?
January 9th. Yeah, I don't know why you just didn't do it if you were going to do it.
Yeah, I added it after.
Regardless, just
Yeah.
specific. I'll go over them later. Just that one specifically. Yeah, no, definitely change that.
Mhm.
I'll just fucking to replace it.
Yeah, it literally like stopped and then went through
I'll
it.
just edit this.
I'm pretty sure I remember asking if you wanted me to add the race skills, and you were like, "Go for it."
I don't fucking remember.
But then this is back in January,
Yeah,
so
use that.
that probably changed at some point.
Specific race
I finished this within like a month, so
Yeah.
it probably changed at some point.
Probably. I should channel. Fey magic. Because I think this is also before I added race magic. I think this was also...
Yeah. So this was back in January, so that makes sense. Yeah, this was back in January, so if you said after, to not add the race skills, then I definitely didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Because I finished this like when we first started this.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, I forgot to honestly go around and do those, but yeah, no, it's fine. We'll just retcon that specific bit and then.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, she asked what kind of magic affinities I have, and I'm just like
fire.
Fire and air, basically.
Mm-hmm. She nods and says, "That makes sense. What tier can you use up to, if I may ask?"
Do I know that?
No.
I shrug.
She just she just kind of assumes that.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, she kind of just assumes that you mean that you don't want to reveal it, I guess.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know the tiers, man. The god didn't tell me the tiers of magic.
Well,
I'm just sitting here like,
Yeah. You shrug.
I don't fucking know.
And Shalara kind of just assumes that you just don't want to tell her to hide, not want to reveal all your cards, and she just kind of not. She just kind of just accepts it.
Yeah.
You continue walking till eventually, a skull says that he senses some elf dogs up ahead. He closes his eyes. Elf dogs up ahead.
Oh, okay.
He says that there are probably 4 of them, around that number.
Around 4. Cool. Up ahead, right?
Yes.
Let's see. All right. So, what's the plan?
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay. Fuck. Drop the staff.
Lol.
Okay. Alred looks at you and says, that elf dogs are generally not that hard to beat, especially compared to the Fey beasts. He says, chances are, after we defeat a few of them, they're going to try to split. He explains that, right for now, him and a skull are going to take the front. Their plan is just to slam into them and catch them by surprise. And then, he'll leave it to you and Shalara to basically just cut down the ones that try to escape.
Sounds.
You carefully move through the woods till you get to a small clearing where you see the elf dogs. There's 5 of them, just enough, although Alred seems to doubt that you'll be able to get them all. And, yeah. Alred and a skull give you a small countdown on his fingers, and when he closes his hand, him and a skull just charge towards the dogs as fast as they can with their swords. The dogs are confused, and they managed, and after just a few seconds, they managed to cut down 2 of them, just using surprise. You note that they seem to be very good with their swords, and it's likely that the Fey beasts are just really powerful. After 2 of them are dispatched, the other 3 seem to be wary, and Shalar looks at you and says that they're hesitating, we should attack now.
Sounds good to me. And I raise a hand and wind slash one of them.
You cast wind slash, and it goes flying towards the elf dog and manages to hit it, knocking it down. And then meanwhile, Shalara casts a water spear, and a spear of water appears in her hand that she throws. It slams to the elf dog, and the last dog runs away, but because you downed the other 2 dogs, a skull and Alred managed to cut them both down.
Oh shit.
Alright, can I learn water spear? I can't use it, but I can learn any spell.
I suppose, yeah.
I learn any and all spells.
You can learn any and all spells, yes, you just can't use it.
Yeah, I can't use them yet, but I can know them.
Yeah, I suppose.
Alright, water spear.
You learn the basics. You learn the spell water spear. Although you can't use it, you suppose that you guess it's good to have it.
I mean, yeah. I'm basically my thought process is to collect as many spells as I can in hopes that they'll be useful to me one day.
The collector.
I'm the collector, only with spells. My goal, have every single goddamn spell
Literally.
I'm only kind of joking, but
Literally. Anyways, yeah.
imagine not learning 2 spells during your first day. Imagine not immediately learning 2 spells, and instead have to buy a book and then take half an hour to learn 1. Could you imagine, Connor? Could you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Anyway, alright, so all 5 have been taken down, right?
No, only 4. One of them got away.
4. Right, one of them ran away?
Yes.
Okay, can I chase after it?
You can try. You probably won't succeed, but
No. Can I try and chase after it?
you can try.
Am I the fastest one here right now?
No.
Damn it.
Not compared to the dog, that's for damn sure.
No, I mean, yeah, besides the dog.
Fastest one from all 4 of them? Yeah.
Alright. Cool. Note to self.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Yeah.
You want me to chase the dog?
Alred says it's fine, and he doubts he doesn't think you'll be able to catch up to it anyways.
Okay.
You then watch as Alred and a skull cut off the ears of the dogs and put them in a pouch.
Hmm.
They then sit up and say it's good that they got 4, and they only need 1 more, which shouldn't take too long.
Fair enough. Okay, let's talk more about affinities and magic. Find dogs. Kill 4 out of 5 dogs. I learn water spear. Happy face emoji.
The happy face emoji.
Happy face emoji. Alright. Great. So they put the ears in the bag, right?
You actually put down a fucking happy face emoji.
It's happy face emoji, you know? And water spear.
Uh-huh. Anyways, yeah. With that, Alred comes up to you and says that they only need 1 more, and then the quota should be met for the day.
That'll be good.
Yeah. They begin.
Okay.
You continue to walk through the forest, and making small conversation. Nothing really that important. After another 10 minutes of searching, you manage to come across a smaller group of elf dogs. There's 3 of them.
Ooh. What colors?
Red, blue, and light blue. / white.
Ooh. Man, I hope they don't kill the red one. Alright, worth a shot. Alright, we just need 1 more, right? I ready another wind slash.
They say, yep.
Alright, and then I chuck it directly at the light blue one.
You chuck wind slash at the light blue and it snatches the dog down to the ground. Doesn't die, but a skull quickly runs up and manages to kill it.
Yep, yay!
And the other 2 dogs, realizing they're outnumbered, just run away.
Darn. It's okay. We'll find some on the way back.
Yeah. They cut off the ears and claim and put. Alred thanks you for your assistance, says that they managed to have a much easier time hunting down the dogs since she helped.
I give them a thumbs up and a smile like, you're welcome! That was fun!
He smiles and says yeah. He says that with their quota met, he looks at the sky and says it's probably around 3 p.m. He says we'll head back. He said, I suppose we can head back, we can head back to Sawalonia now, he says to his party.
Sawalonia. Alright. Sawalonia. Alright, cool. I could go with them.
Good.
Or I could go back and figure out what this Fey Monarch thing is all about. Because out of canon, I know I want to topple the fucking government. In canon, I don't know anything about it.
I like how I find it funny that Elpis's ambition to become a supreme entity is somehow more reasonable than taking down the Fey Monarch, which I find funny.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. But also,
It's a funny goal, admittedly.
To become fucking. How is Elpis's goal more reasonable than mine?
Because the Fey Monarch is basically a pseudo god, but in order to become a supreme entity, you don't really have to be that strong. You just have to be stronger than the Dragon Lords, which isn't impossible. But taking down the Fey Monarch, oh. Like, put it this way,
Well, I don't
the difference in power between the top 3 supreme entities and the rest of them is very, very great.
Fair enough. Either way, I want to kind of see who well, in my mind, right? I'm like, I want to figure out who this Fey Monarch is. And then on the other hand, I'm like, well, if I go back, then apparently she has a hold over everyone and everything. So she might get a hold over me. And the only reason she doesn't have a hold over me is because I'm not technically born here. I just kind of spawned in.
You just spawned in, yeah.
I just kind of spawned in, but she could take over me if I went now. And I can always find more information about her outside of here. So, yeah, might as well go with them.
They look at you.
And I think,
Yeah. You look at them and I assume tell them that you might as well come with.
it'll follow, right? Like, seems more fun that way.
Yeah. You said that you tell them that you're going to come with, and
Or I want to come with them,
you
yes.
want to come with, and and Shalar looks at you and says, well, like, obviously they don't have any problems with that. They also look at you and say, are you sure that's a good idea?
Well, I think I'm trying to think about the best way I can explain this. And I just go, even if I were to go back, she'd probably kill me. So either way, I'm probably gonna die. So I might as well go on an adventure while I'm at it.
Shalara seems very, like, taken aback by how calm you are about that fact. She looks at you and says, like, you said that, like, dying is just like no big
I mean, the
deal.
only reason I said it that calmly is because I know nothing's gonna happen.
She looks at you and says, how can you be so calm when talking about your own death?
And I was in my mind I was about to say I already died once, but I don't
This is a recurring
say that out
theme.
loud.
I think every person here so far has encountered someone like, do you not value your own life? And they're just like, well, I died before, so.
Exactly, I've already died once. I mean, it can't be that bad.
Wait, are we gonna get into an isekai cycle now?
I die again, get reborn. I
Yeah,
try
exactly.
again.
It's just gonna be. It's gonna become a recurring theme.
I mean, it might.
Maybe.
Maybe. Ooh.
No.
Ghelfi, I kill you and you respawn again and you just go flunk. Alright. So, she says you seem like you don't value your own life. And I kind of just shrug. And, using
You're
context.
literally just like
I
Meroth, but if she
muster-
could speak, I swear.
Yeah, I muster the most reasonable answer that I could possibly think of, using the clues that I have about this world, and the only thing I say in response is, life under the Fey Monarch isn't exactly living.
Shalara then kind of looks and doesn't really question further. She says that if you want to leave with us, then I suppose you can. She does look at you and says, however, Fae outside of the Great Fairy Forest is an anomaly for sure. I would make sure not to, try not to draw too much attention to yourself, I guess, she says.
Oh. I'm totally good at blending in. Don't worry about it.
Shalari looks at you and says...
I don't say that out loud, I don't say that out loud. Think it, though.
Thinking to yourself how amazing you are at blending in. You,
Venus is just like, hi!
Hi!
I'm so confident in myself right now that Venus just comes out like,
Yeah. You decide to begin heading back to Sawalonia. Okay, before we continue, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I'm also hungry, so...
Of course you're hungry, you don't fucking...
Yeah. So I'm gonna pause, and then I'm gonna go eat, and I'll be back like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You... After a bit of... You agree to come with them. They say that... They tell you that the trip back to Sawalonia, with their speed, shouldn't take more than... They should be able to arrive home around, like, 11. Saying that would probably take around 8 hours at their top speed. So it reached
Ah.
there.
That's at top speed. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing we're not going top speed.
No, I mean, we'll see.
Okay. Either way, I'm going with them.
Yeah.
I need to consolidate.
You tell them that they're going. They're gonna go with them, and they say, like I said, Solar says it's like, okay, sure.
Mhm.
You begin walking out of the forest. They ask you. They ask how fast you can fly, so they can add that up to how fast they move.
How fast can I fly?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never tested it before.
They say that they ask to see if that you can keep up. Next thing you know, all four of them like jump into the trees and begin rapidly jumping through in between the trees at like a really fast speed.
Okay, dude.
Oh, well, yeah, I wasn't expecting that one.
You quickly
All right, well, here we go. And then I just zoom
Yeah.
after them.
You quickly take off after them. Having more experience with flying, you're roughly able to keep up with them well enough. And they seem good that you're able to keep up with them because they say that if you couldn't have, it would have taken longer to arrive home.
Mm-hmm.
They continue to the trees, and you fly at this fast pace for about 20 minutes before exiting the forest.
Mm-hmm.
The others jump off the trees and land in what now looks like a large plain field.
Mm-hmm.
You fly out of the fairy forest. However, the moment you leave the tree line and step into this plains, suddenly this fucking ringing in your ears assaults you. It is so loud in your head that you can't fly and you just kind of fall to the ground. You hear the sound of the others calling out to you, trying to see what's wrong, but their voice completely droned out. The next thing you know, your entire head and like it feels like in your very soul, there is a voice screaming at you, and it's just screaming one word, and that's return. The word is screaming so incredibly loud in your head you can't think, and you try your best to just shove it out, but it continues to scream louder, telling you to return. You after
Is it a skill, magic, or aura?
regardless, you wouldn't you're not strong enough to shut it out anyways.
Because I have the unique ability Defiance.
Yeah, it it that yeah it doesn't negate things that are more powerful than it though.
Okay.
Yeah, it. You try so hard to shut it out, and using Defiance, you manage to kind of, and you manage to control yourself enough to where you're able to stand. You stand up and continue walking away from the forest, and after you manage to walk a bit out of it, the voice starts to go away. After maybe a minute or two, which to be honest, it felt like an hour of this, you manage to blot out the sound. Your head is still ringing. It feels like a migraine on steroids.
This is why I gave myself Defiance, baby! Because if I didn't have Defiance, I would not be out of there in the slightest. Alright. That sucked. Of course, I can't say that out loud, but I'm like, wow, that sucked. Great, so note to self, I am indeed tied to this fucking monarch bitch. Good to know. I wasn't sure before. I am sure now. Cool. Alright, note that down for the future. I am not saying any of this out loud, but I am thinking it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess I am attached to the monarch bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But so, oops, found that out the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
The hard way. Cool.
That's like...
Good thing I have Defiance. / half joking.
Anyways, yeah. You walk out, and as the screaming in your head calms down, the others are like all standing over you, asking if you're okay.
I give them a thumbs up.
She looks at
That's not all I can do right about now,
Yeah.
bro. Like that's not all I can do.
Shalara says, considering your current state, I don't.
Continue.
Yeah. Considering your current state, Shalara just doesn't believe you.
I give them a thumbs up anyway.
Shalara looks and asks if the Fey Monarch tried to pull you back into the forest.
I give them a thumbs up and then another thumbs up to indicate that it's fine.
Shalara looks at
We're
you and says, "You don't look fine."
I mean, I shrug. I can't speak right now. I just shrug and then keep walking.
You shrug and
Well,
though
not. I
you
just
shrug, and although like they're very concerned, they decide to just continue walking anyways. You continue
I mean, like,
walking, and
I didn't
as
die.
yeah, you walk for
You know
another
what?
10 to 15 minutes, and the voices in your head start to calm down. Eventually, they go away completely, and the headache starts to subside.
They go what?
The headache starts to subside as the voices go away as you move farther from the forest.
Great. Yeah, defiance. I am defiant because I'm a bitch. Hee hee. Oh, right. I need to get rid of it. Oh, I don't need to get rid of it. That's for the future. I forgot that I wrote down the Apex skill for the future. It doesn't apply now.
No, it doesn't.
But I wrote it down because I wanted to remember the name. That's right.
Mhm.
Anyway, I was wondering why it was there. I was like, didn't I have to delete that? And I was like, oh wait, no. Anyway, yeah. So I am very grateful for Defiance. I did not expect that to come in handy as soon as I did. But you know what? Good for me. Is what I'm thinking. I'm not saying anything, but I just walk as best as I can. And yeah, it's a migraine on steroids. Oh wait, I probably should have thrown up. I threw up.
Yeah.
Back
You
there
threw
at some
up
point.
and a spew of rainbows comes out of your mouth.
I throw up rainbows. Fucking blah 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 blah. I puke rainbows from out of the sky. I puke rainbows, and I don't know why. I puke rainbows. Is this how I die? Da, 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 da. Anyway. Yeah.
You
So
continue to walk, and you slowly start to be able to like say words again.
I'm like, wow, okay. That hurt just about as much as I thought it would. I lied. Because I didn't have any expectations.
Shalara
But,
then looks at you and says, "What happened?"
you know, I wave my hand in the air and goes, she just tried to bring me back, and I said no, and then I kept going.
Shalara looks at you, still surprised you managed to resist her influence, and just kind of said, you really just like resisted her?
How rare are unique abilities?
You mean unique skills?
Oh, I have them down as unique ability. That's weird.
It's unique skill. Yeah, no, the unique skill encompasses all of these.
Oh, no, the original one. This first one.
Oh, it should be unique ability.
Yeah, I know. I had it at unique ability. And then you said no, unique skill, so I changed it.
No, you said how rare are unique skills. Unique ability is just a part of a unique skill. The unique skill is this whole thing.
Yeah, but how so this comes with with earning a unique skill, right?
Yes. All unique skills are a combination of a unique ability, 2 advanced skills, and 3 normal.
So how rare are unique abilities by themselves?
You don't get unique abilities by themselves. Unique abilities are part of a unique skill.
So how rare are unique skills?
You don't know.
Oh fuck. Alright. I'm going to assume that they are pretty rare and go with I'm gonna go with honestly, I have no idea.
Shalara looks at you and then says, well, you must be pretty strong to be able to resist the Fey Monarch's influence.
I guess so. I never really thought about it though. I will.
Shalara just kind of like laughs nervously and says, well, I'm glad at least you didn't die.
glad I didn't die. I'm like, I am also glad that I didn't die. I say, putting my hands on my hips triumphantly.
She looks at you and says, you know, says mockingly, aren't you the same person who was like so chill about it earlier about dying?
Yeah, but you know, not dying is still a bonus. You know, like, hey,
A bonus?
I was willing to accept the risk, but it was a bonus that I didn't die. Pretty much, honestly.
Sorry, I just kind of laughs, not really understanding your weird perspective on things.
I mean, hey, I'm still alive, so let's get going.
Regardless, you continue to walk. You continue to walk.
Objective: escape the Fey Monarch completed. Probably.
You continue to walk, and the others begin, and the others, yeah, you walk with the others, and kind of hovering next to them, and Alred explains that as long as they hug the coastline, it really isn't that long of a journey to Salvalonia.
Right.
He says that
Easy enough then.
yeah, he says the walk along the oasis should take them maybe probably, like he says, maybe around 6 hours, and the actual journey through the Haldrados forest will be much shorter because, you know.
You
Yeah.
keep cutting out, by the way.
I don't know. I mean, I don't cut out this much with anyone else, so I don't know what to say.
No, because you keep going. I mean, it honestly might be my internet, but it keeps going. Like you say it, and then it cuts out, and then you say.
Yeah, that
it,
happens with other
cuts out a
people,
lot.
but like once every like hour or so. This is happening like might be on your end because normally it's not this bad.
Your mic's like
Yeah.
cutting out like sometimes a little bit in the middle and a little bit at the end, but it's not fully out.
Yeah. It's like you'll say a word and then like one word will cut out, but the rest of it will be fine. It's weird. But either way, the general gist, it's gonna take the rest of the day to get back. Right. This is a really small continent.
Not really. It's pretty big.
Then how does it only take 5 hours to
Because
get
you're
back?
going along the narrowest side.
I mean, yeah, but it takes longer than that to get across the fucking U.S.
Not really. If you're not moving at if you're moving at the speed they're moving at.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I still feel like it would take more than that, but not up to me. But anyway, they going, they moving, they running, they cruising. Whoa!
Yeah. They are
I'm just
running the
basically
entire
following.
time.
Are there any elf dogs out here?
I mean, there would be. You have to look for them though.
I want to find a red elf dog, just to fuck with Jamal intrinsically.
As they run across the field, as they run across the open plains, moving really quickly, you fly behind them, curious as to how they have so much stamina. As you fly, you continue to look around for other elf dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, after you find a few, but none of them are red. After maybe about 2 hours of this, you eventually do spot a red elf dog.
Red elf dog. Okay, how do I tame an elf dog?
I don't know.
I need to figure out how I'm gonna tame an elf dog and make it my friend. But also I need to keep up with the group. Yeah.
You're also still running.
I kind of want the elf dog, but also wait, would there be elf dogs back at Selwood? It wouldn't be, right? Because they went all the way out here to capture them, right?
In Salvalonia?
Yeah, because I mean, if they
the
went,
quest was to kill elf dogs in the Great Fairy Forest specifically.
oh, so
Elf
there
dogs
would
are
be
found
more.
everywhere in the world.
Oh, sweet. Okay, never mind. I don't care. We're gonna go back first and then look for an elf dog.
Uh-huh.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you continue to seeing the elf dogs. It only increases your desire to want one more. And then there a certain fallen angel currently still struggling in the desert, who is unable to.
Who's just sobbing as he can't fly like the idiot that he is.
Mm-hmm. You run for another 4 hours, and it's the sunset about an hour ago. You note that these guys still seem to be able to see in the dark. It's around 10. You've been running for about 6 hours, and
Mm-hmm.
at really high speeds. You kind of wonder. You still wonder how the hell they haven't gotten tired yet. Even like the
Huh?
mages, who
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be having the greatest stamina.
How do I have the stamina?
Because you're flying.
Oh, okay. I guess that doesn't take that much effort. Cool.
Not
I'll take
necessarily.
it. I'll
Yeah.
take it. I'll take it if it doesn't
As
take
the
that much
night
effort.
sets, you eventually arrive in the Haldrados forest.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Continents.
Cease your heresy. So
Once you reach
if I
the continue.
if I get stronger, will Defiance block her out completely?
What?
If I get stronger, will Defiance block her out completely?
The difference between you and the Fey Monarch is like an ant to a dragon.
It would be
So
like
I gotta
me
get
trying to
really
fight
fucking
demon.
strong.
Yes.
Alright, so I gotta get really fucking strong first. Alright,
Yeah.
cool. I'll do that.
Fighting the Fey Monarch is equivalent to fighting one of the first gods. She's more she and the Demon Emperor, Fey Monarch and the Demon Emperor both could probably take on most of the Pantheon and win by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're
So
ludicrously powerful.
I still love that my goal when we started this was, you know what, I'm just gonna take down the Fey Monarch and become a fucking god. Fuck the rest of you. I'm becoming a god.
That's the goal essentially.
The goal is to become a fucking god right about
Dread's
here.
like in here. I thought I was a megalomaniac.
Yeah, I thought I was a megalovaniac. Let's go.
Megalomaniac, you fuck.
Actually, it's a megalomaniac.
That's what I
Da
said.
da 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 da.
I'm gonna kill
Once
you.
that
Yeah, but
Dread-
Dread said
Yeah, I know that's what
Dread
he
said
said.
megalovania.
I feel like he probably just doesn't know what the word means, but
No, I mispronounced it. Sorry. My bad.
Lol.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm becoming a god. Fuck you.
Shame.
Eventually I will
Yeah.
become a god.
Alred tells you that their party lives in the southwestern city of Sawalonia Hildred, and so they'll be heading over there.
I give them a thumbs up.
They then jump into the trees, and once again, like in the Great Fairy Forest, begin moving at an incredibly quick speed that you have to quickly catch up with. You catch up with them and note that they are running even faster, moving even faster here than they were in the Great Fairy Forest. You assume likely because this is you assume that it's likely because this is their home forest.
Yeah, that was my first thought. Yeah.
You even struggle to keep up with them at some points, and you realizing how insanely fast you're moving. After about an hour and a half, 2 hours, let's say 2 hours, you eventually arrive.
Wait, I have fast flight. I'm okay.
Yes, I know.
I'm good. I got fast flight. I'll be fine.
Yeah. You eventually arrive in the city of Hildred.
If I didn't have fast flight, I would have been left in the fucking dust by
now. You arrive in Hildred, and it's a very interesting looking city. It's clearly a wood elf city, which definitely confirms that you were already thinking about these guys. It's the entire thing is made out of essentially living wood. Like the walls, the houses, the building, everything about it seems to be made of some sort of type of living wood to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
You land with them in front of the, quote unquote land. You just and next in front of the gates, and there's a few guards stationed outside, and Alred motions you to follow him.
I shrug and follow.
Mm-hmm. You approach the gates, and Solara looks at you, and Shalara looks at you and says that welcomes you to Hildred. She explains to you as you approach the gates that Sawalonia has 4 major cities, which is the northwest city of Gaeldon, the southwest city of Hildred, the southeast city of Tonkalor, and the northeast city of Winfield. She explains that
I feel like in canon I wouldn't remember this, so I'm not writing it down.
Yeah. She then tells you that the capital of Sawalonia is Haldradia, which was founded by their first king, Haldrados, which is also what the forest is named after.
Nice.
She explains to you that each city kind of has its own thing. She says that Hildred particularly is known for its high agricultural output and is known for supplying domestic food to many of the people living in Salalonia.
Mm-hmm.
You approach the guard, and the guard looks at them and asks for their ID. They provide 4 cards. Each of them provide their what appears to be an ID card. The man looks over them and confirms them, and then Alred then tells you that they also have a guest with them that doesn't currently have an identification card, but they vouch for you. The guard, still looking at his clipboard, I guess you could say, looks up, looks at you, and then
I wave.
You just kind
I
of
wave.
You wave, and his
I go,
eyes.
"Hi!"
He drops his clipboard and backs up, and just goes a Fae.
The way I imagine this is he looks up, looks at me. I go, "Hey," and then he fucking drops it and goes, "What?" I am so good at blending in, Connor. Look at me go.
Uh-huh.
Look at me blending in like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
To be fair, I don't understand what you wanted me to do here. I can't disguise self.
Yeah. No shit.
So-
Anyways.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm like, oh, well, yeah. I'm not an elf, clearly.
He
I play
picks
with
up
my
his
ears and I
clipboard
say
and
that.
tries to compose himself and saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound rude. Since these guys are vouching for you, I suppose welcome to Hildred.
Thank you.
The gate. He opens the gate for you, and you step inside.
Like, well, that went well.
The others kind of nod hesitantly. Shalara tells you that they're currently staying at one of the inns on the eastern side of town where the residential buildings are, and tells you that if you want, they can you can stay there as well, and they'll pay for a few days for you while you get settled in.
And I'm like, I kind of just because I have no other I have no other plans exactly. So I'm like, all right, if you're okay with that.
They nod, say, yeah, the room is rather cheap. They you follow them through the town, and as you kind of hover there, you notice that like every single person you pass by is looking at you.
I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
Hello.
I'm just letting you know.
Hang on, let me I can't help avoid. See, the only time I can help trickery helps me avoid being detected. But that's if I'm if there's like everyone not looking at me, because like I kind of have to follow these guys. Like I don't really got a choice there. Oh right. Oh, I accidentally realized that I do have a skill called Smile.
Yeah.
Gives the user an extremely happy expression when smiling that's difficult to read even through the use of magic and or skills. That would explain my attitude through this entire thing. It's a passive skill called Smile. I just look happy all the time.
Literally.
So, oops.
Oops, she says.
That works out for me. I completely forgot about that one. Anyway.
Oops, she says.
Oops. Well, I also have Charisma Boost. So I have Charisma Boost combined with Smile. I just look so cool right now.
And you have no idea what the fuck you're doing.
I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but I look so cool right now. I have no idea what's going on, or what I'm gonna do next, or where I should go. However, I look so cool.
Whilst not knowing where you're going.
The thing is, I'm also very confident. I'm awesome. I'm just rizzing everyone right now with my smile and charisma boost. In a /J kind of way.
They call Zinnia the Rizzler.
I gain a new unique skill, and it's just called the Rizzler. Unique ability, Rizzler. No, I'm not. But that would be really funny. Yeah, I'm basically just really happy to be here, while also being very unsure of what the fuck I'm doing.
You don't say.
Mm, I don't
You know that
say.
you do know that there aren't many people out at night because it's like midnight, and so. But you
Hmm.
imagine that once the streets are filled, there's gonna be even more eyes on you.
That's the case. I might as well find another Fae and become two Fae in a trench coat. My next plan is to find another Fae and become two Fae in a trench coat. That's my next plan. Unique skill, Rizzler. Unique ability, Riz. Everyone in a 10-mile area will do exactly what you say. God damn!
Yeah.
Guys,
Anyway.
isn't that literally just a Sylvius?
True! True!
Like,
No,
like for a second, I was like, yeah, they're joking about a Sylvius, and I was like, wait, they're not even joking about a Sylvius.
it's just Sylvius right there.
That's literally his.
It's literally his fucking skill.
we do
Anyway,
a bit of rizzing.
we do a little bit of rizzing. Although I'm also doing a little bit of rizzing.
Unintentionally.
But yeah, no, unintentional, very unintentionally. But that's what happens when all my passive skills are to make people like me.
Which is
No, I'm not projecting.
but I was gonna say like that's kind of sad, just a bit.
Just no, I'm not projecting.
I think you are.
No, but literally, my next goal in my mind. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. I'll write this down. My next goal upon entering the city and shocking all those who see me
Okay.
is to find another Fae and become two Fae in a trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
It's now my next goal. I'm going to become two Fae in a trench
goal.
coat. Who needs to defeat the Fae Monarch? Well, Fae Monarch is far in the future. First goal, first achievement, become two Fae in a trench coat.
Good luck with that.
I thank you. Anyway, I can, besides, now that I'm like at the end, I can always use my trickery to avoid further detection in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Just right now, I can't really, but yeah. So we get to the end, probably.
You follow Shalara and her party, and eventually you come across the inn. It's a cozy looking inn, decently sized. You enter in. There's an innkeeper at the front who seems to be sorting papers. It's also a wood elf, and some tables, most of which are empty. You walk up to the receptionist, and I guess innkeeper, and he recognizes the party, saying that he's glad to see that they're back in all one piece. Alred thanks him and says that he'd like to pay an additional for 3 days for someone who'd recently who they had met whilst adventuring. The innkeeper seems confused and kind of asks, "Who is it?" And they kind of and then Alred kind of directs the innkeeper's view to below the counter because your ass is too tall to.
I'm just standing. I landed and just standing there. I decided to stand. Apparently,
he waved at the innkeeper who's looking over the counter at you, and
the exact same thing happens again.
Yeah, he nearly falls back in his chair. Surprised to see a fairy.
Man, everyone has never seen a Fae before, huh? I crossed my arms.
Shalara looks at you and says, "Of course, you Fae are exceedingly rare creatures that don't usually ever appear outside of the deepest parts of the fairy forest. To see one just mingling about in the world casually is like almost impossible."
I kind of shrug. I'm like, well, I'm here, aren't I? So it's not impossible. I am smiling.
You smile like a little fucking bitch ass.
I do smile like a little bitch ass. Fuck you. What the fuck are you laughing for?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. The innkeeper quickly regains his composure, saying that it's nice to meet you, and he asks for your name while still stuttering.
Zinnia!
He said it's nice to meet you, Zinnia, and as Alred pays for the fee for 3 days, he tells you that your room will be upstairs, second room on the right.
Yay! Thank you kindly, sir.
You
I
follow
always
the
remember my map.
You follow the others up the stairs as the innkeeper is still scratching his head, clearly incredibly shocked by what he's just seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like very shocked.
Very shocked.
So shocked.
I am very aware, but also currently there's not much I can do about that. So the least that I can do is be friendly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the least I can do is be friendly, and maybe I'll be fine.
Yeah, guys, we'll all be fine.
I'll be fine if I'm just nice enough, right?
Yeah,
Right. It's
Dread?
fine.
Oh, he's not here.
Yes. Oh, I thought you were calling out Dread for doing some shit on his first thing.
No, we call out Jamal more often than anything.
Oh, okay.
His ass deserves it.
Why? Why though?
Well, to be fair, I might be a fae, but one of you is a fallen fucking angel, which is just as fucking rare. So,
No,
Two of
no,
us.
not
how is that?
Huh?
How is that less rare than a fae?
What, fallen angels?
Yeah,
There's a bunch of them.
bruh.
Because a
I
lot
mean, we're
of them
still rare.
a lot of them fell during the Origin and Mythical Age. It was a lot more. And it's not to say there aren't a lot of fairies, but they're all kind of, restricted because Fae Monarch.
True. But also,
Just because there's technically, like, a lot of rare things, but because of, how hard they are to find.
I guess.
No, so besides, Jamal's gay anyway, so.
True. That's
He
fair.
wants
That's
that.
fair.
He wants that big demon lies.
He's
True.
not. He's not a demon.
He's close enough. Let's be real.
Close enough to getting that demon.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You ever read like the Humanoid Alliance is like a hyper racist, super fascist dystopian country, and the leader Jamal had created named Lies, and Jamal was genuinely sad when Dredd defeated him.
I
and
wasn't genuinely
instituted
sad.
a democratic government, and Jamal was like, "No, you need to become Lies too. How dare you have character development? How dare you not be a
Oh,
one-dimensional, edgy character? How dare you?"
Twas a joke.
Was it?
Okay.
Was it?
Was it?
Mostly yes.
Was
98%.
Was it? There they go. Anyway.
I don't think it was a joke. Methinks Jamal wanted that dwarf daddy.
Do I just go up to my room now?
Yeah, you can.
Wow implies what?
Huh?
That implies what?
You don't have to. You can do whatever you want.
I guess that's true. Alright. I'm gonna go to my room just to think and maybe stop smile from activating every single fucking time I look at people, because that's getting really annoying.
You go to your room and note that the bed feels a lot bigger because you're tiny. You flop into it and just roll around a bit and appreciate how much bigger the same sized bed is, thanks to your little mini itty bitty size.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. I mean, yes, you're right. It's nice that it's large, but also, fuck you.
Matt, because bad?
I don't know why I picked the tiny race. I should have just been a fallen angel like these two fucks.
If we had 3 fallen angels, that would be so funny.
We just the fallen angel gang. Only one's actually a decent person.
Yeah, I feel like I'd look at them. I'd look at you 3 like, wow, you were all really uncreative, weren't you?
Well, to
be fair, me and Elvis decided independently of each other, right?
No, Elpis didn't. Elpis knew.
Wait, there's 3 fallen angels?
No, there's only 2.
Oh, yeah, there is only 2.
I'm saying if you became one, maybe, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Absolutely not. I was like, ooh, Faye. Sure, why not? Maybe. Let's even be even tinier than I am in real life.
You mean taller?
I do come home for Thanksgiving. You will die a long and painful
You
death.
set yourself up for that. Let's be real.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
You
I'm
literally
gonna
set
fucking
yourself
kill
up for that.
You're gonna die.
You literally
You're
set
going to
yourself
die.
up for that.
You're going to die.
What do
Also,
you want from
question:
me?
How do I? Shut up. How do you regain mana?
It just recovers naturally.
Oh, so if I'm down 140, reasonably, what would I be at right now?
Since you use mana? Oh, full from a long time ago.
Oh, okay, cool. I am good to go, and I can kill Jamal in a I teleport to his location via God,
You
and
could
I'm like,
fly to
haha!
him. You could fly to him.
I fucking wind slash his ass and then disappear again. For
I mean,
no
you,
reason
you,
other
you could technically go in to see him. It wouldn't make any canonical sense, but you could.
It would make no canonical sense whatsoever.
It'd also be in like the worst order ever, but hey, if it gets the views, it gets the views.
It gets the views. I fly over to Jamal, smack him in the face, and then fly away because he can't fly.
True.
At this point in time, he can't fly.
Yeah, because he thought he'd be able to fly instinctually. You know how when you have a baby, you think the baby can just walk and talk naturally? Yeah, Jamal?
I came out fully literate.
When did he
Are you literate now?
No, he's not.
It degraded. It degraded.
Holy shit.
Oh fuck. Anyway, what was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, when did Jamal finally learn how to fly?
Like episode 2?
Oh yeah,
No,
so
I
he would've
learned
been
the
able to fly
episode
right
1 just after the
No, you
beast.
weren't fluent with it.
Well, didn't I use it a lot during like the orc fight, and then that's like when I started like getting better at it and gained like the new skill.
You didn't use... I mean, technically. But like, you only gained it because you almost fucking died because you wouldn't move fast enough.
That's fair.
Because his dumbass was like, I don't need to know how to fly.
So yeah, theoretically, if I flew over to him right now and slapped him and flew away, he wouldn't be able to chase me. He doesn't even know magic yet. I do.
True.
Because fuck you, Jamal.
In this current time and place, yeah, no.
Yeah, the current time and place, yeah, I could kick Jamal's ass right about fucking now. For the views.
For the
For
content.
the view. For the content.
We kill Jamal for the content.
Kill Jamal for the content. I will be killing him.
Jamal, don't respond once again if you're willing to die for us.
No, I do not want to die.
Too late.
No, we were talking about how Elpis has to come first though, because he ratted us out.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Elvis is dying.
I don't think that's how this works. But I mean, if he just comes over all the way from PA, like, car, like.
I'm leaving to the continent without you people. Like either I'm going I'm going to the
already
Does that
underworld.
exist? Me and Burb are chilling in Dalheim, and Crystal and Albus are in Alveni and
Oh shit! Wait, are we in the same continent?
Yes.
Shit.
Burb.
Listen, what? You never told me. I didn't know where he was starting off.
You read the logs.
I forgot. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely
You
The only reason I'm not reading the logs is because it doesn't make sense why I would know what happened to everyone else.
forgore.
I forgot.
I like to imagine
sorry,
that like
Connor.
Burb used to be like straight Catholic woman, and then she forgore how to be all that, and then just flipped.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I mean, yeah. Like that's literally me in 5th grade. I was homophobic for 1 month when I learned what homosexuality was, and then I just stopped caring and was like, oh. I'm gonna be real, you know what did it for me?
What?
I never watched it, but my friends were obsessed with Yuri on Ice, and that's what made me stop being homophobic.
It's like the
Honestly,
Kanye.
My Gay Awakening was Tigress.
That's fair.
That was my Gay Awakening.
Wait, did you guys see like the
But
Kanye
then I
like?
also got yeah, Kanye fucking stopped being anti-Semitic.
Yeah, because he stopped me after watching a movie. I forget what it was, but it was just like
Me after watching Black Panther, and I'm no longer racist.
yeah, he's no longer anti-Semitic after watching Jonah Hill.
Anyway, I go up to my room. I am tiny. I am on.
You're rolling on the widow with a
I'm
massive,
rolling on
massive,
the
massive
giant bed.
betty weddy with your itty bitty body waddy.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. If you keep doing this, we're not gonna get anywhere. I'm just gonna keep cursing you out.
Crystal, check your DMs.
I'm gonna keep cursing you the fuck out. We're not gonna get anywhere. Just gonna be fuck you after fuck you.
It's
Anyway,
like
I
Burb.
lay
It's like
there.
Burb raging whenever I call out Merit's mannerisms for being like a little doggy woggy.
That's exactly what I DM'd her. I said he does the same thing to me.
Mm, yeah,
Only
no.
you're mad because I'm right about
Oh, me or Burb?
Burb.
Oh. You are, but you shouldn't say it. I simply lay face up after rolling around for a little bit on the bed, staring at the ceiling, and I can let my skills finally shut the fuck up, because they're passive skills used around other people, and I'm like, great, that was an eventful day.
Then
It was an eventful day, I'd say.
you don't say.
I got bowed to like twice.
Literally.
Literally, quite literally. Killed a couple dogs. Left the Fey Forest. Figured out I am indeed connected to this Fey Monarch bitch. And learned that it's a good thing I gave myself defiance so I could actually leave.
Barely.
Hooray! Barely. Goddamn. Defiance was the only reason I was able to leave. Holy fuck.
Literally. You would have just been like subjugated to woo.
I just went whoop back into the forest.
Literally.
And then I'd have to do all my grinding in the forest.
Yeah. You lay down. You lay down on the bed. It's pretty late. I'm midnight. It feels weird to be in the bed so big. But you kind of think about it, what to do next, and you think that next step should probably be probably be like figuring out who this Fey Monarch is, and also probably finding a way to get that identification and money.
The third thing, find another Fey so we
Yes,
can be two Fey in a trench coat.
That was gonna be get an elf dog to fuck with Jamal.
Oh yeah, and to get an elf dog so I can fuck with Jamal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we both have elf dogs. Yeah, boy.
But Chris is gonna be like my elf dog's clothing ears. They're gonna have like a Pokemon battle.
A
Like,
fucking
elf
Pokemon
dog,
battle.
use Fireball. Jamal's like, Elijah, use Rock Bullet.
Actually, theoretically, if I got an elf dog of every single element and had them use magic, I could copy all of their spells.
Wait, also out of lore,
oh
what
God.
element is Eliza?
I
Earth.
could do it. If I get a fire elf, well, first I'll get a fire elf dog and a air elf dog, and then when they use magic, I can copy all the spells I don't have.
Bro, Jamal listening to this like, what is this monopoly? What is this meta exploitation of magic?
Bro, I just got the dog because I liked it.
I do want it to get the dog because I like the dog. However, I can exploit this to learn multiple different forms of magic.
He's literally just metagaming.
Just
Animal
metagaming.
exploitation, yeah.
I'm just gonna find every form of elf dog, and exploit them to learn magic.
That's something, alright.
I mean, would it work, Connor?
I mean, it would.
Yeah,
For basic,
go!
I mean, specifically for basic spells, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, I only need basic spells for now. I'm not trying to like speed run all the way to all the advanced spells.
Uh-huh.
If I can get some good basic spells going before Jamal ever did, because he's pathetic and he's pathetic, that'd be good.
Real.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Jamal is pathetic in the chat.
Hashtag hang on, I got you. I got you.
Like, magically, don't I know the most spells out of everyone here?
I have never counted.
Okay. I hate this chat. This is why we need censorship.
What was he asking? He said something about spells.
No, don't worry about it. His dumb little
Nope,
brain
you
couldn't
know.
handle it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, hang on, wait, no. Fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, I just gotta beat 14 before the level that he's at right now, and I will have shown him up. I'll take that. Let's go. Anyway, I'm basically just kind of contemplating my situation in bed right
You
now.
don't say.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right,
All right, what the fuck is happening?
like I'm enjoying myself greatly. Yes, however, the Fey Monarch, bro, God dude didn't tell me about the Fey Monarch before I chose Fey. Motherfucker really could have just said, the Fey are all attached to a Fey Monarch. That would have been some useful information to have before I got here. Like fucking chaos god looking ass. If you I'm just like I'm shaking my fist in the air and going, if you can hear me, fuck you.
You suddenly get smitten from the fucking sky and just die.
Suddenly an L lightning bolt just comes from the sky and I just die and restart.
The Fey Monarch's like, the fuck you say to me, bitch? You're awful cocky for someone within crusading distance.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of heresy coming from someone within crusading distance. Burb's seen the comic, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Burb's seen the comic.
Yeah, okay, yeah. After you sit there in bed for a bit and contemplate what to do next, a lot of ideas rush through your mind. However, you note that as you eventually you fall asleep, surprisingly calm about the whole fucking scenario, unlike basically everyone else here. You're just kind of
Everyone
like,
else freaked out, really?
not freaked out, but like questioned what the fuck they were doing here, and you're just like, yeah, fuck it, we ballin'.
What else am I supposed to do? Yeah, fuck it, we ball.
Question it? I don't know.
Nah.
I mean, don't be as boring as Jamal by doing history research.
Nah, fuck it, we ball. Literally, I'm just like, I'm here. I mean, like, yes, I'm questioning how I got here and what I'm doing here and why, but like you, I watch a lot of isekais and shit. So, fuck it, we ball. The people who do best in the isekais are the ones who go, fuck it, we ball. Right? Just go for it and bullshit it along the way. That's how it normally goes.
That's how it normally goes, guys.
That's how it normally goes.
Sure, we'll go with that.
That's how it normally goes. And those are the ones I've watched, and I've watched quite a lot of them. That's how it normally goes.
Yeah.
It's like the only genre of anime I watch is isekai. It's like the only genre I watch is isekai. So usually the ones who just go fuck it, we ball are the ones who get pretty far. Anyway, how did literally everyone else freak out?
No, I guess I want to say freak out, just like we're a bit surprised. Stunned.
So me and you were the only two, characteristically, who went, fuck yeah! I feel like yours would be like, fuck yeah, I'm a whore.
More or less.
Based. But yeah, so I'm just kind of like, I'm contemplating it now, but also I'm like, well, now I have a somewhat of a plan. And do I get sleepy? Like,
Yeah.
do I have to sleep? Or
Yeah, you get sleepy.
okay, cool. I'm just gonna fucking sleep because I'm like,
you figure you might as well go to sleep now.
I mean, I could stay up, but it's kind of pointless considering I just got here and I might as well
You
fucking
don't
sleep.
say.
Yep, I don't say. I sleep.
Go EBDB, one could say. Uh-huh.
How well or terribly did Jamal do on his first day, besides getting attacked by a giant snake and forgetting that he can't fly?
He does shit at everything, so...
Fair.
He thought he could learn magic without, like, understanding how magic works.
What did he do? Just hold his hand out in the air and go prestidigitation?
Yeah. No, he genuinely thought without learning how magic works in this world, he could just use it.
This fucking
I
idiot.
kid you not.
Well, I had the book. You
No,
know,
you
I thought that
didn't.
would.
Well, you had the book on what spells. That's like if I tell you the word bridge, you think you can like just construct a bridge.
See, the only person who can do that is me.
Oh
Hi.
yeah.
I'm a bitch.
Real?
This is my only luckily for you, this is my only like genuinely overpowered skill.
More or less.
All my other ones are kind of very, very passive.
Like Jamal, whenever confrontation happens.
No, I'm very active in confrontation.
No, you're not.
Happen to
No,
be.
you're not.
I was more active than you were.
Real.
Anyway,
Notice how he also doesn't act active in confrontation when he just faced the confrontation. Holy shit.
What am I supposed to do?
Be active. You just said you were gonna be active, and then you just weren't active.
Well, you see, here's how I will counter this claim. Omen.
you don't. You don't.
I don't actually know.
I have your address.
I also have your address.
That goes both ways.
What are you gonna do to me, huh?
Okay, I can't really.
I have like I have 1 pound dogs you're absolutely terrified of.
True.
Let's neither here nor there.
Do you know that Jamal's afraid of 1 pound dogs?
Lol.
He's literally afraid of these tiny baby puppers who are only like 6 months old.
Look, I haven't
Yeah.
been around that many dogs.
He was he was genuinely scared of
a
them.
little.
Like I'm being so unironic right now.
It's like overwhelming stimuli, right?
Like,
It's just like
It's like a slash SR. It says a slash SRS moment. I'm always legitimately scared of my little 6
Yeah, no, he was genuinely afraid of these tiny pups. It's depressing. Anyway, I'm asleep. I sleep through the night, probably.
Yes, you do. Okay. You sleep through the night when wake up. You wake up with a long stretch. What time is it, by the way?
In real life,
Yes.
9:45.
Okay. Okay. You wake up and decide to head downstairs.
Is it noisy downstairs right now?
Kinda, yeah.
I choose to go out the window.
Okay.
If are there other things out the window? First of all, I look out the window. What is outside of the window? There is a window.
A street.
Oh, never mind. Can't go out the window. Fuck.
Go out the window. Go out the window.
No, I'm not going out the window.
Go out the window.
No, I'm not going out the window. But
Go out the window.
I'm not going out the window
Why not?
because clearly I can't.
Go out the window.
I'm not going out the window.
Go out the
Although it would be
window.
very funny. It would be very funny, but I'm not going out the window.
Go out the window.
I'm not going out the window.
I think it'd be funny.
Nah.
I think you should go out the window.
I'm not going out the window.
Why not?
Because I do not want to land on a busy street.
Why not?
Because I got 2 options: the busy street or the busy tavern / inn.
Yeah, you should go out the window.
No, I'm not going out the window.
I think you should go. I think the fame monarch compels you to go out the window.
What?
I think the fame monarch compels you to go out the window.
The fame honor compels me to. That's just you fuck.
Yes. Exactly.
Nah, I use defiance and say no.
Defiance can only take you so far. You end up just looking out the window instead.
I'm joking, but no, I'm not going out.
You're looking out the window, there's the streets out, and you're kind of surrounded by, well, El people.
Great.
Yeah, at least not NPCs like Jamal.
Let's see. How
How am I an NPC? How?
Look at you.
I learned history. Okay, that's un-NPC behavior.
You
No
look- you look-
NPC even thinks of that.
How tall is the roof?
Dog,
in the
Jamal,
in,
you look like an Abdullah. Okay, that's enough of an NPC.
What does that mean?
It means
What does that
an
mean?
Abdullah. Jamal, Crystal, you can agree. When we met up with him, he looked like an Abdullah, right?
Okay,
uh
when I
maybe
think Abdullah, I think like some guy with an uncut beard, like hair, like short as hell, like some sheikh
So yeah,
with
that's
like
you.
a religious
That's
hat.
literally you.
That's just not me.
No, it is. It is.
Crystal, back me up here. I did not look like that.
you do.
What do you mean I do?
I'm really agreeing on principle that fuck you, Jamal.
Yeah. Base.
Anyway,
Like, okay.
so how tall is the roof on the inn downstairs?
Say that again.
How tall is the roof in the inn downstairs?
You can't really tell. You just hear like a good amount of people.
I mean, like, cause I was down there before.
Well, yeah. Wait, so you said how big it was?
How tall is the roof?
Sorry, you cut out how
Like,
what?
how tall is the like? Could I
How
fly
tall?
over people? Yeah, how tall? Like, could I
You-
fly over people without them noticing me?
Absolutely, they'll see you.
Fuck. All right, never mind.
I don't know what kind of stealth mission you're trying to plan here, but it is not
Trying to
gonna work.
not get noticed because you told me not to get noticed. Anyway,
I mean, they told you not to get noticed. I never said not to get noticed.
technically, you are them. Anyway,
Well, I represent their opinions. I don't represent their opinions. Aren't my opinions.
yeah, well, I'm not that stupid. I'm stupid, but I'm not that
That's
stupid.
debatable.
If I go
sometimes.
out the window, can I fly up and they won't see me?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. All right. I open the window
Should just bite
since
the
you
bullet
so
and go out to the
compelled me.
tavern.
I'm fine. I'm going out the window. Fuck you. I
Fame
I
Monarch
open.
tells you. Fame Monarch tells you. Fame
Just
Monarch
you.
tells you.
Shut up. I open the window. And I cast trickery across the street to create like the sound of glass shattering on the opposite side of.
You create the sound of glass shattering from the other side of the street, so everyone's attention gets diverted there.
And I fly up onto the roof where they can't see me.
You fly up onto the roof into a little spot where people can't see you. You kind of think to yourself, what the fuck am I doing?
I am escaping without being seen, like they told me to do.
Uh-huh.
I am so cool. I'm tempted to just try trickery over and over again just to figure out how long my cooldown is.
Who knows?
Would that work?
I mean, you could.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna wait 5 minutes and then try trickery again. See if that works out.
Sit on
Anyway.
the roof, and after waiting for 5 minutes, you cast trickery again, and it works.
I create a tiny little light in my hand.
You do that.
Okay, cool. And then I get rid of it. So that's 5 minutes. I don't know if it's any shorter, but I'm gonna say 5 minutes is a safe time to wait to use trickery again. Might be a minute, might be 2 minutes. I don't know, but 5 seems to be. I'll try again at a later date.
This
And
is true.
I peek off the roof to look at what's around me, stealthily.
Mm-hmm.
Around the inn, basically.
You do what?
I peek off the roof of the inn to see what's around the inn.
You look
And,
peek around the room
And
and
since
see.
I'm high up now, I can look over the entire city, kind of.
Yeah. You peek over the roof and see streets and bustling streets with lots of elves and other races moving about. However, behind the inn there is a small alleyway that doesn't have anyone in it.
Behind the inn?
Yeah.
Alright. Cool. Can I get there undetected?
You can try.
I don't know the layout of this. I don't have a map. Like a visual.
Well, I mean, yeah. There's a behind the alleyway. You can try and go around. You just have to imagine it.
Okay, I go into the inn undetected? Question mark.
Into the inn? I said around on the back of the
I
inn.
mean, on the back of the inn, sorry.
You go into the back of
That
the inn
alley.
and now find yourself in an alleyway.
You cut out again.
You go to the back of the inn and find yourself in an alleyway filled with trash.
Among trash, you said?
Yes, I don't. Why are you?
It keeps
supposed to try
cutting
to-
out.
Why?
I don't don't know. It just cuts out random
It
words.
shouldn't. It never has before.
No, don't look at me. Even Jamal said it was kind of doing it. I don't fucking know. Don't look at me. Anyway, I am now
Fix
sitting
your-
amongst the trash. This feels about right. This seems about right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had this discussion before somewhere.
Possibly.
I get the vague feeling that there was a discussion about trash some point in the past, and I don't remember where.
Was it about Jamal's life?
No, like I remember there was like a discussion about something trash,
When?
and I don't remember. I don't know. It was like a year ago. I don't know.
Why are you remembering that now?
I have genuinely no idea. Something going in the trash. Anyway. So I am now sitting there, trying to think about what I do. Is it like where is the next nearest shops ish?
Next nearest what?
Like it's a city, right? So there have to be
Yes.
other buildings.
There are.
Where are the other buildings kind of situated from where I'm from?
It's all around you.
Okay, great. Can I try and locate a library by going around the roofs?
You can try roof hopping, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm good. The roof hopping seems like the most reasonable thing to do right now.
Deciding.
Although I do look around the alley and see if there's anything useful
Nothing there.
first. Alright, cool. I go roof hopping.
You decide to go roof hopping. You hop back on the roof and begin scouting around the area for any sort of, I guess one could say, large buildings of any kind. Maybe a library. You look around, and in the distance, you do see a large building that seems to be taller than the other buildings around it.
Alright, I head over there and see if this is maybe a library.
You hop along the roofs with this as quietly as you can, and no one really seems to notice you since no one's like actively looking up.
Mm-hmm.
You hop between the rooftops, and eventually you reach the large building, undetected. You look at the large building. Once you're close enough, you're able to see the large building better, and it looks like a big, basically just a large building. Doors, windows. It's obviously looks more like, I guess you could say, structured than the other houses and more refined.
Mm-hmm. So there's no indication that this is a library.
Not particularly, no.
Is there a high up window I can look in?
Yes,
Can I look in the window?
sure.
Like just on the little corner of the window.
You look just through the small corner of the window and see what appears to be like a big office with some powerful looking wood elf sitting at the desk doing some work.
Alright. Probably not this one, and I skitter away carefully.
You skitter away carefully, unbeknownst to you that the wood elf had peeked their head up and hadn't seen you, but thought they had sensed your presence as you left.
I keep going and looking for another library, unaware that he noticed, I guess.
You see, you look for another library, and you scatter on the area. This time on top of the place we were just at, to get a better vantage point. You eventually notice another large building in the background and see a sign on it that looks like a big book. I think that might be it.
It has a big book on it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I am trying to make my way over there via roof hopping.
Yeah. Slowly but surely, you hop between the roofs, and eventually, after a bit of not getting caught, you manage to arrive at this so-called looking library. The front includes a book and two pens almost, and you're pretty sure it's a library. Now the question is, how the hell do you get in?
Well, I figured I'm gonna have to talk to someone in order to ask where the books are. Sure, the books I need are, but I mean, I guess I could do that after I get in the library. Maybe not. At the very least, I don't want to go through the front. I checked the windows on the back the library. There aren't any buildings behind the library,
There
or
are
the one
not really.
No buildings behind it.
Behind it,
Hmm.
there's a few.
Okay. Is there a high up window I can look in again?
Kinda.
Can I look through it, like the corner?
You look through the
Yeah.
window and see that really is just your standard library. Lots of bookshelves, floors, and etc.
Okay, cool. Does the window open?
Mm, does the window open? You say? You try to push the window open and it manages to open. Yes.
It opens? Cool. I fly in through the window and stay at the top, trying to blend in, even though I really can't because I'm kind of fancy looking. But that's okay as long as no one looks up. Do not make anyone look up. They would not. Shut up.
They
I
look
know you would do
up.
that. You fucking know. Fuck you. I'm at the top.
You
And
enter the
I'm
library and
looking.
immediately zoom up to the top of the library, so no one sees you.
Yeah.
You're now in the
I'm now
library.
cool. I look around for a clerk of some kind, like a library clerk.
You look around, going, yeah, eventually see the receptionist in the library, a female elf, doing some paperwork at the center of the library.
How many people are around her?
Not many people are around her, but there are people in the library. That's for sure.
Okay, there's people in the library, but not so much near the desk. Okay. Let's see. Um. Let's see. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna fly above, over, like under the at the roof level.
Of the main floor or the second floor?
Is the second floor able to reach down to the, like? Is it like a
No,
full floored
full
second floor? Or
floor.
is it okay? Is the receptionist on the second floor
We'll say yes.
then? Okay, cool. Because
Well,
then I
she
don't know how I
lives
would have
there
seen
and
her.
she doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how I would have seen her if the floor was a full floored library, not one of those lofted ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if she's there, I'm on the second floor. I fly over, across the roof slash ceiling. Sorry, across the ceiling until I'm above her. Um, I'm above the receptionist, and there aren't any people talking to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there aren't any people necessarily around her, right?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, cool. I Has it's been 5 minutes by now. It took me a while to get here. I cast minor illusion to make a small noise, and in her ear, he goes, "Psst, you should look up."
You whisper that, then suddenly the librarian is like, whoa, 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 hoo hee hoo ha ha.
Hoo-hee-hoo-ha. Sharpie, hoo-ha-ha.
Mm-hmm. They look around
Yeah,
and look up and see you just kind of hovering on the
I wave
ceiling.
and smile with my charismatic charm.
Yeah. She exclaims a lot of surprise, but manages to not scream because she is a librarian, so knows how to stay quiet.
Library, better stay quiet. That's what I'm relying on right now.
She looks at you and says, can I help you, ma'am?
I look around and um is anyone looking at her right now?
No.
I very quickly zip down to the floor underneath the desk because I'm tiny. Slash the circle desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I zip down
You
there
zip past,
because,
yeah.
yeah, I didn't want to surprise her by doing that first. I wanted to let her know I was there first.
Hmm.
I zip down to the floor and immediately hide underneath the desk and wait a moment to make sure no one else noticed. And then I looked up at her and I said,
Hmm.
like whispered, "Hi."
You zip down onto the ground and try to hide underneath one of the desks. That way no one sees you. After confirming the coast is clear, you look up and wave at the woman, just like a little hi.
Hmm.
She looks at you and asks, yes? Sorry. I didn't mean to startle you, I just haven't seen any Fae before.
Oh, you're fine. That's kind of the trend that's going on here. She whispers. I just needed to ask if you had any books on the Fae Monarch.
The librarian looks at you and says, oh, yeah, the Supreme Entities section is over there on the right. She points to the first floor in the right part of the room.
Okay, first floor on the right. Got it. And so, there you go. So first floor on the right is where I'd find that. Okay, wait, that's what she said, right? First floor on the
Yes.
right. Okay, first floor on the right. Got it. Thank you. And
Librarian nervously nods.
she looks around to make sure no one's looking again, and then zips back up to the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now at the ceiling again, assuming no
Yeah.
one is looking.
No. You managed to get away mostly fine.
Oh, okay. So I'm at the ceiling now. I zip over to where the stairs are. Actually, no. I zip back out the window and go down to the first floor windows in an area where there's not as many people, if not, and no people.
Mm-hmm.
And try to find a window that I can access that doesn't have too many people near it on the right. If not, that's fine, but I am going to look for one. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
window on the right that, and let's see. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to start exploiting largesse, so
From the ceiling, so you do what again?
I zip back up to the ceiling since no
Yeah.
one's looking, go out the window again, and try to find a window on the first floor on the right that there's not many people near, both inside and out. It's a fat chance, but I do look. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you zip out the window from the top, and you kind of attempt to find a way to get closer to the book you're looking for without drawing anyone's attention. Looking around the streets to see if there are any elves, you notice that there aren't really anybody passing by at this time, and you manage to find a window that's pretty close to the section you're looking for.
Cool. I go in through that window very carefully, assuming that it doesn't immediately lead to a vast open space.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it doesn't lead to a vast open space.
Yeah. You enter the window and you find you're basically next to the bookshelves. However, like if you were to go and grab a book off the shelves, there's a probable chance you might get noticed.
This is window hopping, roof hopping. Alright. I'm near the bookshelf. Am I at the bookshelf that
No.
I'm supposed to be at? Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
not.
you're
Alright.
not at the bookshelf. You're close to it. Not like the
I'm
window is
close.
going to be like through the bookshelf.
Okay, cool. I'm near the bookshelf that I need. Alright. I stop. Actually, it's easier to go unnoticed when you're not flying. I stop, land, and is there any like unused cloths anywhere?
Any unused what?
Like large cloths, like an unused curtain
No.
or a tarp? Damn. Alright. Let's see. I look around. Is there any like left behind trench coats?
No.
Oh darn! I should have robbed the alleyway for a trash bag. Anyway, I start walking, instead of flying, trying to keep my wings kind of down as I inch towards the bookshelf, checking for the names, hoping to find the one I need. because there are a bunch of books, but I need to
Yeah.
find at least a couple that
You
talk
scan
about what I
through the
want.
books of the Supreme Entities section, and you manage to, after a bit, locate the one on the Fey Monarch.
Great. I peek behind the bookshelf to see if there's anyone behind it.
No.
All right. I look around, go up to it, look around again, yank it very carefully off the shelf. And can I hold it? I can hold it, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm using telekinesis. Does telekinesis make it glow at all?
Nah. Kinda.
Kinda. Is it a noticeable glow?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a noticeable glow, I'm just
No,
gonna
it's not
fucking carry it.
noticeable.
Okay. I'm gonna use telekinesis just so I don't have to struggle to fly back up to the second floor with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I use telekinesis, pick it up, and slowly inch my way back to the window
Mm-hmm.
as stealthily as physically possible.
Yeah, you managed
Uh,
to get up to the second floor with as less people as stealthily as possibly you can, going through a lot of effort for one book.
I need this book, okay? And I go back up to the second floor through the other window. I go out the window, back up to the first window, go through the window on the second floor, fly across the roof / ceiling, and zip back down to where the receptionist is. Given that for some reason there aren't a lot of people in this library, because that also makes sense. Because in any world, people don't give a fuck about libraries, which
Mm.
is sad. Yeah, I land back down, and I telekinesis the book onto the table, peek up, and go, "Can I check out this one, please?"
You go up to the librarian and ask in like a little tiny
I just
if you
get a
can
little baby
if you
voice.
can
Can you
check
please
out
check out
the
this
book.
book?
And although a bit startled, the librarian tells you, yeah, you can.
Yay!
She tells you she needs it. She tells you, if you want to take it out, you can. She says you can either read it here, or you can take it out, and she needs it back by next week.
Okay. I don't think I can read it here without being seen, so I will read it and then bring it back. I promise, because I am. I don't say that last part. I don't say that I am. I was gonna say because I am a fae and fae are amazing. I'm not gonna say that.
Mhm.
But like I promise, and I smile.
Mhm. You smile, and
And
she
for
waves to you, still kind of surprised that a fucking fae just showed up and checked out a book at her library.
what else was I supposed to do? I need to be selective in who sees me. Part of me wants to go. No one will believe you, and fly away. To just be like, no one will believe you, and just fly away.
Doing
But
a
I'm
little
not gonna. You're
mischievous.
really funny. I could be a little mischievous, but I'm not. I'm not gonna.
You decide
I'm not
you
gonna
leave out the window once again with the book.
with the book. Alright, I head back to my room because I feel like that's the most logical place to read this.
After a bit more roof hopping, you finally manage to make it back to your room, and that whole total ordeal took you about an hour 30.
Yeah, I'll take it. I got the book.
So
Got what I
it's
needed.
probably around like noon at this point.
Alright, perfect time to read a book.
You managed to get one book after an hour and 30 minutes of
I'll take it. Alright, I did it without being caught. Good.
barely.
I mean, barely.
Technically you were because the librarian caught you, I
That's
guess.
true. Well, I didn't catch them. I wanted them to know I was there because how else am I supposed to check out a book? I wasn't
Maybe
gonna
you didn't
steal.
catch me. I let you find me.
Exactly. I wasn't gonna steal a library book. Come
Why?
on. What am I, an animal?
You could just read it in the library.
No, because then I definitely would have gotten got.
Oh. Anyways,
Mhm.
you open the book on the Fey Monarch. It reads... Do you know that all books are going to be simplified? Because I'm not going to fucking... Yeah?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. The book reads... You start reading the book. It says, The Fey Monarch. It is said that at the beginning of the world, there were gods, demons, and fairies. When the world suddenly exploded into existence came the natural laws. The gods were made to bring life and creation to the world, whilst the demons were made to keep it balanced. Fairies were believed to be the first sentient beings created by the mythical goddess Seraphiel. According to legends, Seraphiel took a feather from her wings and used it to create the first Fey monarch. The Fey monarch is a being of extraordinary magical power. She is ruler of all Fey and is able to control them with her mind. However, her connection becomes weaker the farther the Fey are from her. She is known by many names, including the Primordial Fae, the Queen of Magic, and the Mythical Empress. All of these titles are derived from different aspects of who the Fey Monarch is and what she can do. The title Primordial Fae stems from the Fey Monarch status as the first ever Fae created. The Queen of Magic stems from the Fey Monarch's apex skill, Lord of Magic, Seraphiel. This skill allows the Fey Monarch to wield every single element at once. Every single element at once, and allows the user incredible magical immunities to every form of magic, including race magic. The skill also allows her to use any spell at 50% reduced mana cost, cast time, and cooldown. However, these don't apply to ultimate spells. The Fey Monarch is also often described as the peacemaker of Althvinhaim, said to be the one that handles disputes between powerful beings to ensure the safety and continuation of peace in the world. She never leaves the Great Fairy Forest unless under extreme circumstances, and only a select few individuals, even among the other supreme entities, have ever seen her. Her appearance seems to change based on who describes her, implying some form of incredibly powerful illusionary magic. The only thing all recollections agree upon is that the Fey Monarch carries a constant and heavily intense aura around her, making her glow incredibly brightly. All recounts describe her as having beautifully colored hair and wings, but the exact color varies from person to person. Other than that, the features of the Fey Monarch remain a complete mystery, as everyone who has ever seen her, Fey included, disagree as to what she looks like. The Fey Monarch's personality is described as just but rather extreme. If you have committed no sins, she will not harm you, but what she considers sins are often not what others would. Her judgment is inherently unfair due to her extreme ideals on what are and aren't sins. Often, even the lightest crimes will be considered irredeemable by her. This has caused the Fey Monarch to often be described as a tyrant. The Fey Monarch also holds responsibility as a neutral overseer between the supreme entities. When a dispute happens between two or more supreme entities, it is the responsibility of the Fey Monarch to ensure the dispute doesn't explode into something more violent. Her decisions are considered final and her orders are absolute, and this is partially due to the fact that she is one of the strongest supreme entities along with the Demon Emperor Lucifel and the Sea Goliath Garavel. Over the thousands of years, Althvinhaim's history, there have been 7 Fey monarchs. Each of them have had their different personalities as well as different understanding of justice. The current Fey monarch, Siofra Fey, is described as the most tyrannical and extreme Fey monarch in history. She believes that her will is the most pure and has raised disdain towards her even among the other supreme entities. The Fey monarch has by far the most pure, raw magic power of any being in the world. Despite this, the Fey Monarch is rarely ever seen using magic, and chooses to always remain neutral unless absolutely necessary. This is why she is known as the Justice and Order of the world, alongside the world's chaos Lucifel and the world's executioner Garavel.
You, or is it just me?
Huh?
Burb.
Huh?
Burb.
Yeah.
Is he cutting out a lot for you too, or is it just me?
I'm noticing it a little bit.
Okay, well then it might just be me. I managed to get most of it, so it's fine. But like, parts would just cut out, which is really annoying.
I don't know. Like when our sessions, I cut out maybe like once every like half an hour. Like Burb can attest. Like when we do our sessions and stuff, I don't really cut out like maybe once a while, but.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why it's probably my end. I'll be real, but like I don't know why it's being a pain in the ass. It's annoying. Will this work? Maybe. All right. I just connected to the 5G, so maybe that'll help.
No idea.
All right. Anyway, so she reads that. And it's like, well, I guess I was right about her being a bitch. Ugh, and I close the book. And I kind of think about it.
It took you about like an hour, like let's say an hour and a half to read the book.
Because it also probably has the history of the other Fae
Yeah, it just is
Monarch
It
and
just
all
Monarch.
that shit. Yeah, so I'd say about an hour to 2 hours to read it.
Yeah.
It takes me 3 hours to read a full Warriors book, so
We'll
it's
say
just probably
an hour
less
and a
work.
half.
Hour and a half to read that whole thing. I close it as I finish the last page, and I flop down on the bed. Great! Good thing I was never born here, so I don't have a reason to go back to the Great Fairy Forest anytime soon, but goddamn. Ugh, I sit up again, and I think about it, and I'm like, I wonder if I should try and become the Fey Monarch. I feel like it'd be interesting. Maybe. I don't know. And she looks at the book, and she, like, pats it, and goes, that's probably a future goal. As long as I'm far away from that forest, I should be fine. Said it itself.
Like
The further away I am,
like how for your next few sessions you're gonna be casually in this city and like Alpus is like an
casually.
hour away, just like in the other town in Saulonia, just existing.
I'm just like, yep, I'm living my best life, baby. Like, she's literally like, well, as long as I'm far away from the Fey Forest, I'll be good. Don't gotta worry about that for a while, probably, unless she sends Faye after me, in which case that would be bad. But you know what? We'll worry about that when the time comes. And she, like, flops back on her bed. And she's, do I need to eat, too? Like, I know I need to sleep. Do I also need to eat?
You can eat. I'm not gonna say you have to eat.
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
say you
I
can
want to go eat
sleep to
something.
restore your like magical existence, but in terms of food and water, you can. You know, I'm gonna say you don't have to because mythical beings are a
Okay.
bit different. However,
I kind of want to
you do still have a sense of fullness.
taste.
No, fullness and taste.
Oh, fullness. Okay, cool.
You can never eat too much, but you never really need to eat.
Okay. I set up and debate finding something to eat. Just because I feel like it. Because, I was human once. I know what food tastes like.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
like,
that's one thing. It's like, even though you don't have to eat, you still kind of just want to eat.
yeah, 'cause I was human once. I still know how to cook, technically. I have my memories, somewhat. I just don't know what kind of food POV I become campfire cooking in a new world. Except, it's just me as a
Yeah.
fae. I'll worry about that in the future. Goal number 2, figure out how to cook in this world.
Yeah.
And I sit up and stretch, and I'm like, all right, now, current goal, how do I acquire food without being seen by everyone? I think about it for a moment. Because I'm like, I think about it, and I have, like, not a eureka moment, but my solution I end up coming up with is, once everyone's kind of gone, and it's just the inn. I mean, don't inns have food typically?
Yes.
So yeah, I could just order food then.
You could.
I could just order. All right, I'm just gonna get food once everyone is kind of asleep and gone at the inn, and then I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to eat, otherwise I'd be starving by now. So I will just order food once everyone is asleep. Seems like a good enough plan to me.
Yeah.
All right. So now what do I do for the rest of the day? I think, and then I'm like, oh, I should go find that dog. And I get up and I'm like, can you said they're everywhere, right? So I could just
they are.
leave the city boundaries and go find a dog. I'm gonna go find a dog.
You decide to go find the dog.
I go find a dog. I really want a dog. All right, I exit through the window again, and
just kind of fly out of the city.
I just kind of fly out of the city to go look for a dog.
You fly out of the city high enough to where people can't really see you. And
they could see it, but it's like, what the hell is that? And then
yeah,
they
you're
move
too
on.
small to really make out. You exit the borders of Hildred, and you're now in the Haldrados forest.
all right. And I go lower so that I'm closer to the ground. Put my hands on my hips and go, now where am I going to find a dog?
Mhm.
And so I think, and I'm like, well, guess I'll just start looking. And I start flying.
Mhm. He
I
starts
begin the
flying
flight.
around the Haldrados forest, attempting to find something, anything really, looking for a dog. You
Elf
pass by a
dog.
few groups of dogs, but a lot of them seem to be mainly bronze-colored and wind-colored, and you assume that's probably because of the nature of the forest. Those two elements seem to be the most common.
Hmm. A wind-colored one would be good. A wind dog, because I also have hair. So that would be most useful. Wind and air, fire and wind first. I kind of think about it. Then I shrug. And I'm like, I can still find a fire dog in a bit, but for now, this will work. And I kind of fly over and hide a little bit as I figure out a plan of attack at 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 taming a dog,
The wind one.
the wind one,
You hover over the
the air
dog, and
one.
it and its pack just kind of there, just eating food.
It's kind of there. I guess it's just kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want. So, are elf dogs? Elf dogs are not also fey creatures, right? They're not.
No,
Okay, didn't think so.
if anything, they're elf creatures.
Yeah, I mean, it's because elf in the name. Because like the fey beasts bow to me for some fucking reason. I don't think the dogs would. I can't really test this theory,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I should. So I stand above them, and let's see. We're gonna go with um um. Well, I could pick one up with telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't tame it. That would just make it scared. Hmm. What do they eat? Is the real question. Because I need to give it food, and food usually always.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I'm curious as to Elpis tamed one. He's kind not Elpis, sorry, Jamal, because he's kind of dumb.
You just kind of gave it food.
Yes, that's about what I thought. Just give it food. I guess I could go kill something. It's always a good idea. I decide that, probably the first step before taming one of these is to go find food to give it. So I go off and I want to go look for like one of those rabbit frog things, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that seems like something it would eat, or like just a regular rabbit thing, or like small cat, something to
Mm-hmm.
kill and give it to him.
Yeah. You go around for a bit, for about 15 minutes, till eventually you come across a group of those rabbits. You try not to get too close, but manage to but yeah, but try to get too close, and so because you know that they can jump really freaking fast and really freaking high.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I find one of the weird rabbit frog things that I don't know the name of, and I cast water slash, wind slash. Sorry, wind slash.
You cast Wind Slash, and it moves fast, and you manage to decapitate one of the rabbits, and everyone else disperses.
All I heard was decapitated the rabbit.
You slash the fucking air and cast Wind Slash, and you decapitate one of the rabbits, and the rest of them disperse.
All right, cool. I have killed a rabbit, and I pick it up with telekinesis, and I look at the head, and I'm like, you know what? I might as well bring the head too. I'm not gonna waste, right? I'm not gonna waste. I bring the head and the body. I hold it with the blood side facing up so that I don't attract more things via a trail of blood. And head back to where I pretty sure I saw the dogs and or
Mm-hmm.
find some new dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
you grab the weird rabbit thing, and head back to where you found the dogs. And they're still there, just kind of lazing about.
I land nearby, whistle, and like, hi puppers! And I have the food like in the air.
The dogs look at you and they kind of just stare at you blankly. And before going back to eating, they seem that like you seem that like these dogs. From what you've seemed to notice, these dogs don't seem to be naturally hostile, like what Alred told you. Like by themselves, they're like not that. They're basically just
Mm-hmm.
wild dogs.
True. I put the food down in front of me in an attempt to get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
I put
You
the food
put
down in front of me,
yeah.
and I make come here dog noises, like maybe I don't know.
Yeah. You decide
Basically,
to
wild dogs.
yeah. You decide to put the food down, showing the dogs and the dogs slowly like looking at the food. They're looking at you. They seem a bit intrigued, and the wind dog starts like walking towards you. It seems a bit like not wanting to get too close to you.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. And then I like move the food a little bit closer to him, by like a little bit,
Hmm.
with like a nudge of telekinesis.
Yeah. Say that again.
I nudge the food forward with telekinesis, so I'm not touching it. You know.
Hmm. Yeah. He goes up to the food and starts eating it, and he just starts eating the rabbit. Yeah.
All right. Great. He is now eating the rabbit, and I am happy with that. Do you
Mhm.
like it? I wasn't sure what you really eat, so I figured, one of those rabbit frog things would make
The
the
dog
most
just kind of
sense.
looks at you and then just gets back to eating.
What else can I do? Hmm, I kind of just watch it eat for now. I'm not really sure what else I would do. I don't know much about these dogs. I just know they're dogs.
Hmm.
Just watch, basically. I'm just
Yeah.
like, all right.
The
Don't
dog
know if this is
continues to
working,
eat.
but I tried.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. How long does he take to eat?
Maybe like
Then,
5 minutes.
all right, cool. Now what?
Dog then kind of
Well,
looks at you, seemingly looking for more food.
I can take you to more food.
Dog doesn't understand what you seem to be saying. Just kind of looks at you, still wagging its tail.
Oh. Um. Hmm. I'm trying to like signal that I can get more? Question mark. If he comes with me, maybe. Kind of. I don't know.
Hmm. Seemingly intrigued, he begins to follow you.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. I continue into the forest with this dog to look for more rabbit things.
The dog follows you and you begin to look around for more rabbits. You see a bunch of rabbits. Eventually you find a small grouping of rabbits, and you and the dog kind of like start to approach it.
Hmm. And let's see. I'm gonna use. They're very, very fast. So, hmm. I could use Wind Slush again, or I could use Trickery and then trick them towards us, and then possibly kill more of them like that.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna try it. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. I cast Trickery behind the group of rabbit frogs, and make like a startling noise, like a branch snapping or something, to make them come towards us and ready a Wind
Hmm.
Slash.
You activate skill trickery and create the sound of a branch snapping, and the bunnies begin rushing towards you.
Alright, I ready Wind Slash, and I cast one. Hope failing that I at one of them.
You activate
Or
Wind
I don't.
Slash and cut through one of the rabbits, and you notice that the dog, seeing what you're doing, also casts Wind Slash, because it is a wind dog, and also cuts through another rabbit.
Rabbit.
Yeah.
Do they get away in the 5 seconds it takes to
Yes.
cool down? Right. Yes. All right.
So now you have
Right.
2.
So that's 2 rabbits, and so now we have 2 dead rabbits. Let's
Yes.
go. And I point to them and go, ta-da!
The dog, seemingly happy, seems to start eating from the,
Let's go. Ah, rabbits. One day I will be fast enough to just chase them. And then we don't gotta worry about scaring them. I can just chase them. Like, pew pew. And I do say this out loud. Because, let's just be...
The dog spends another 10 minutes eating the food, and then seems to look at you like it looks domesticated, I guess you could say.
It looks domesticated. I guess that's one way to put it. Alright. So he likes me now. That's great. Alright. I have a dog. I think I did better than Jamal. Maybe. When did Jamal get us?
You did get it faster, I think, yeah.
Did he get it? Because this is the beginning of... This is the afternoon of day 2.
He got it, yeah, you definitely got it earlier.
Let's go! At least a little bit earlier. Take it. Next goal, find a fire dog. Tame that one too. And or convince this dog to convince the fire dog that I'm a decent person.
Good luck with that.
I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I know it's worth a shot. Alright, I have a wind dog now. He knows one slash. Does he know any others?
You don't know.
Alright, well, I guess we'll find out one day. And if I can get a fire dog, then that means I can get some fire spells. Because I'm metagaming. I need to stop metagaming. How many basic wind spells are there?
15.
Alright. Ooh, that's a lot. Actually, that's a lot of basic wind spells. Wait a minute. If I go back to the library and find a book on spells...
There won't be there.
What?
The Magic Guild has a monopoly over all magic books. You need to purchase one.
Fuck. Right. Well, I could do that. Or I could just watch other people do magic.
That too.
And just collect spells. For now, I mean, if I feel like I'm gonna need a book to learn a bunch of advanced stuff, then I might as fucking well. But like, since I don't have money, watching people is working just fine. So, let's go. Right. Can I try and communicate to the dog asking if he wants any more rabbits?
I don't know how one communicates with a dog.
I point to the carcasses on the ground and give a thumbs up or thumbs down.
The dog doesn't understand. It just kind of looks at you.
Alright, I guess we're heading back now, then. And I start walking back towards Hildred with the dog.
With the wind dog, you decide to walk back to Hildred, eventually arriving there. And the thought now dawns on you that you're now going to have to move around without getting caught with a dog.
Yep. Well, you see, okay? I flew over the border wall, right? So if I just use telekinesis on the dog, because, it's not a whole ass person, and it's way less than 160 pounds. And just fly back over the wall the same way I came.
You fly over the wall the same way you came, and you go back to your room.
Did that work?
Yeah, technically.
Now I have a dog in my room. I telekinesis this dog back into my room. He's probably surprised. but also I'm a fae, so I don't think you'd be that
The dog
surprised.
dog doesn't understand. It's a dog. I don't.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to give the dog some credit.
The dog, like, although a bit confused, is just kind of like, yeah. Seeing your bed, he
Man,
kind of just hops on it and lays down.
this is a chill ass dog. God damn.
Eh.
All right. I should teach him some tricks.
Uh-huh.
All right. Acquired a dog. I have a book on the Fey Monarch stuff. And I'm gonna have to memorize as much of it as physically possible. Because I do have to return this book
You do.
eventually. All right. Cool. I do have to. Yeah, I do have to return this book eventually.
Yes, you do.
So,
At some point.
all right. What time is it now? By the time I get back on my dog.
Probably around 4:30, 5.
All right. Cool. What should I do now? As I sit on my bed.
Can always just leave it there. It's been 3.5 hours.
Fair enough. Or I could try and beat Burb's record / J.
Nah, it's 5 hours, and
Fair
admittedly, I have stuff
enough.
I gotta do.
Fair enough. I have to finish my
Yeah, I
homework.
think that was good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just midday.
Yeah. No, we've ended midday before.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, let me add to my notes. I snuck out of city
Yeah, that was good.
and
Better than Alpus's first session, I have to admit.
what did he do?
Fucking got a few times, admittedly.
How did he get got?
I made him encounter like one of the strongest monster in the entire area.
You really just said fuck you, huh?
Yeah, more or less.
Or did he do it, or did he like
Well,
did he like deserve it?
I just figured it'd be funny.
That's that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Okay,
Okay, go out the
yeah.
window.
That was good.
Start recording.
Yeah, so you're 2 days in, so you're on well, you're on the 10th right now, yeah. You got a bit of ways to go, admittedly, to catch up to everyone else.
I probably won't, considering they still have 4 sessions to do, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, the thing is, because I'm trying to think of is how we can get you to catch up, because it's going to be... Because if you're forever behind, that's just not going to be fun.
We could just do a speed run.
Yeah, we could speed out sessions.
Well, like during one session, it's just like, this day I did that. This day I did that. This day I did this. Probably. I don't know.
We can be short with it if you want. Okay. Now, next session, we can just try to be short with it. Just for the sake of catching you up. We'll just keep things short, essentially. Okay, I'll end the recording there.